Guess who's back in the house? Heels click clacking about.
Vinefish feminine
Style
style to 11.
Oh, to 11, which is makes me think of
This is Spinal Tap.
This is Spinal Tap.
Whatever the God, I haven't. That was ripped from the depths of somewhere.
You used to like Response to Trinity, remember?
Yeah. Well, yes, it's your response to Trinity. But I mean, what an odd
song title.
Well, the lyrics and that song doesn't make any sense.
I'm Joseph.
And I'm Nick.
We watched episode 1 of season 2 of Beauty in Black, now streaming on Netflix.
Oh, God.
So this is Tyler Perry's Beauty in Black. We reviewed the first 16 episodes. 16
Christine episodes.
And we're back. The first 8 episodes
of part 2.
Well, no, part 1 we compiled and made a YouTube video of, and that audio is like our most popular video. So we're back again. We're going to do it episode by episode and put those on Patreon first. And then once we're done with the first 8 episodes, which premiered on September 11th, 2025, then we'll compile them and put them on YouTube. So the Patreon gets to hear us talk about this nonsense first. Mm-hmm. So episode 1 is called Crowned in Beauty. Kimmie's sudden rise sends shockwaves through the Bellarie empire as Horace's backroom maneuvers hit the family where it hurts most, the bottom line.
God, that's so much innuendo in there.
I was thinking I should recap season 1.
Okay.
In 100 words.
Okay.
Kimmie, a stripper with dreams, escapes a broken home and violent past to apply for a scholarship at Beauty in Black Hair School, owned by the powerful Bellarie family. Is that how you pronounce it? I always forget. Is it Bellarie?
Well, because we say, I think Mallory, Bellarie.
Because we were joking saying Bellarie, but...
I was a stripper with dreams.
Meanwhile, Mallory Bellarie, leader of the Ballarie's hair empire, struggles with family dysfunction and secrets. Kimmie's best friend, Rain, undergoes a risky black market BBL surgery that leaves her fighting for her life.
Best friend, that bitch ain't shit. Okay.
As Kimmie's world collides with crime, betrayal, and desperate debts, she conspires with Angel to rob Horace Bellarie. The season ends with Rain alive in the hospital and Kimmie exposed to danger on multiple fronts. So... the season 1 ends with Horace, played by Rico Ross, who's like the head of the empire. He marries Kimmie to get back at his raggedy ass family.
Yeah.
So episode 1 opens with Kimmie in the hospital with her new husband. And basically, he's trying to explain to her, like, you're going to have to run the business. I'm going to teach you everything I know.
I'm going to teach you how to look in the future.
Ugh, I hated that
Leverage.
line. This writing, but we can't go on and on about the writing every episode. But
oh no,
Horace is explaining to Kimmie, like, I'm going to teach you everything I know. You can't trust anyone. But then proceeds to basically tell her, like, trust everyone, but don't trust anyone. And then Kimmie's main concern is that she's protected. And as we know from season 1, the will, which is like
airtight.
You've never in any TV show or movie heard a will being talked about the way they talk about it in this.
No wills, nor roads.
Private road. No, the will, all they ever talk about in season 1 is like the granddad made this will and it has all these stipulations and no one can change it. It's just overly complicated for the writing skills of a Tyler Perry. But basically, Kimmie is protected because if Horace's wife dies, like she's murdered, then everyone loses their shares. Like,
they act like this will was penned on Mount Sinai.
It just doesn't even make sense to me. And then Kimmie's also concerned that because now she has her sister who was sex trafficked by
their mama.
Well, and sold to
Delinda,
who's now dead. She was the owner of the strip club. So Kimmie now is reunited with her sister, which I'm so grateful for, because the final, 5 episodes of season 1, that's all she could talk about was her damn sister.
She was heavily preoccupied, yes.
So now that she has that, we can talk about something else. And then, of course, her best friend, Rain, who was in the hospital because of her ass shots gone wrong. She seems to be in good spirits, and she's been discharged from the hospital. The doctor says she's cleared to go.
Yep.
So I will say, I do think it was a strong start to the episode because, for maybe 12 or 13 episodes, Kimmie was so useless and helpless and meek. And then the few, the final 3 or 4 episodes, she just was on one.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we had not seen this version of Kimmie. And I guess now that she is reunited with her sister, she is now going to run Beauty in Black, and she's told she's protected. She comes out swinging because Horace's family, the Bellarie family, are all waiting in the waiting room of the hospital, reeling from the news from the ending of the first season, that because they know what this means, that Kimmie's gonna, because most of the family doesn't know who Kimmie is. The only one who knows Kimmie is Roy, the one son who used to buy her as a prostitute.
Well, Mallory knows.
Mallory doesn't know Kimmie when she first meets her.
She knows that Kimmie's involved with her husband and Horace.
That's right. But for the most part, they don't know who she is. They just know that now she's going to run shit. So when Kimmie, Rain, and her sister finally come out into the lobby, I was kind of digging. They came out swinging.
They did, but it's in that true Tyler Perry.
Oh, Freudian slip.
Damn. Tyler Perry fashion. There's a schizophrenia that's apparent in all his characters, where it's it's a different person now.
So of course, the family's we need to meet. Attorney Varney is there. And he's well, we shouldn't be talking about this here. Let's go back to Mallory and Roy's house. So everyone disperses. We see Mallory and Roy in that Aston Martin they had Richard Lawson's wife in the trunk.
Mm-hmm.
They're driving, talking shit. Mallory is antagonizing. Well, they're antagonizing each other. And Mallory points out that you were sleeping with a whore that was sleeping with your damn daddy. Which is not true. Kimmie has never slept with Horace. But as far as everyone knows, Horace is not gay.
Yes, there are misconceptions about both that and then Attorney Varney sleeping with
we'll get
Mallory.
to that. But the thing that was most annoying about season 1 with Mallory is that she couldn't stop asking everyone about that bitch.
Yep.
Who's that bitch? Who's that bitch? Now that she knows who the bitch is, now she's moved on to, you need to tell me everything. You need to tell me everything.
Who's that bitch?
God, it's Mallory, because you know what it is? What did we just watch? Oh, War of the Worlds.
With Ice Cube.
Where the aliens want data.
Yeah.
Mallory's like the aliens in War of the Worlds with Ice Cube. It's she wants to know everything, but with all this knowledge, you still haven't
what are you gonna do about it?
What have you accomplished?
In the beginning, when they're in the lobby, as you said, still reeling from the news that they're gonna have this new boss named Kimmie, Richard Lawson literally screams, "I want to know everything about her."
Well, and then doesn't he say
he says it again too?
Well, but he also has these non sequiturs my wife is dead and he's married this woman,
right? What is that? Okay,
you need to let your dead wife go at this point. Okay. Okay. I was happy to learn Horace, Rico Ross's character, does say to Kimmie, because she's well, you told me. It's so confusing because he's saying don't trust anyone, but trust this person, you're gonna go with this person. And Kimmie's asking questions and he gets mad, you can never ask questions in front of other people. And then he explains to her that he has another law firm. And I'm glad he said that, because I recall us talking about in season 1 that it's hard to believe that Attorney Varney is the only counsel this entire family and corporation use.
Mm-hmm.
But Horace explains that he has another law firm that basically like cross checks Attorney Varney's work, which I think is funny. I also think it's funny that Horace, who's like dying, he's on his deathbed at the hospital.
Mm-hmm.
You know who he asked for? Where's Angel? The sexy stripper.
He tells them to find Angel. Kimmie leaves the room and comes back minutes later. He's like, "Did you find Angel yet?"
Literally, he asked where Angel is. She walks out to go find her driver and then comes back in.
Mm-hmm.
At what point would she have found Angel? Horace is so...
We'll get Angel some protection. Angel, I don't know his last name yet.
Poor Horace. This is what happens when you're closeted.
Yeah. Tyler, writing his own sad future.
Well, speaking of Tyler writing his own future, the relationship between Attorney Varney and Charles
my God.
It makes my skin crawl. I hate Charles.
Well, because it's just Terrell Carter plays Varney with such gravitas that it's like there ain't no way this man would genuinely be interested in Charles.
And we mentioned this in the last season. If it is about money, I feel like Charles is so oblivious. Attorney Varney could just straight up steal from Charles and he wouldn't know.
He wouldn't know. He's oblivious.
You could literally like embezzle money from him and he wouldn't know.
You're creating your own drama and telling this.
You could literally get this dum-dum to sign a power of attorney, give you access to his accounts, take a nice portion of his shit, and he would never know.
Mm-hmm.
So it can't be about the money. This Negro really loves Charles' raggedy ass, and I just don't understand.
Yeah, I don't get that.
I mean,
makes no sense.
What are you suspecting that it's a front?
I would hope so if we're operating on this being an intelligently written script, but we're not. So I don't understand why this man would.
I think that he isn't. Tyler Perry has written this character. I feel like Tyler sees himself as someone who genuinely has tried to love people who only want to be with him because he has money.
Mm-hmm.
So he probably thinks that most gay guys are like slutty and all they want to do is party and like they're users.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that he fashions himself as an Attorney Varney, like this savior who's trying to help everyone. Because that's what Attorney Varney is. I feel like in the end,
yeah,
I bet you by the time we get to episode 16, we're going to see that Attorney Varney has like tried to keep everything together. And that Charles is just this slutty gay guy.
Well, yes, because I think that's the emotional investment that allows him to be the savior for everyone is dependent upon how he feels for Charles, is what what we're supposed to believe. I don't know.
But Attorney Varney goes to Charles' house after he goes to his house to try to explain to him, like, girl, do you understand like what's happening here? Like, if we don't get this shit together, we're going to have problems. And what does Charles say to him? I don't need to be thinking about shit except where my next piece of ass is coming from.
Ugh. Okay.
Can you imagine being in love with someone and you're trying to appeal to them with not only your feelings, but also like your concern for their like financial well-being and they say that to you?
No.
And then you still stick around, like, because then later on in the episode, this man tells Charles raggedy ass, I love you.
After he has sex with him, after he says they have poor Terrell Carter doing the Tyler Perry repeat dialogue scenario where it's like, you know, your dad's dying, right? You know, your dad's dying, right? Like, oh, but I'm going to go have sex with him right now.
Then we go back to Rain with the sister and Kimmie. And Kimmie is questioning everything. And, you know, I will say, even though Rain is a raggedy friend, because like you mentioned in the beginning, in season 1, like in the first part, episode 1, because Rain and Kimmie work at the strip club together.
She goes, don't even try to get an education, girl. We're just whores.
This bitch literally tells this to her best friend.
Mm-hmm.
Don't bother getting an education. We're whores, basically. Mm-hmm. But I guess it worked out because now they're rich.
Yeah, I mean, the loyalty that Kimmie has for people is so... I mean, there, in one sense, there could be like a that could be a sound psychological composite for someone who's had her experiences, but not like this.
But I must be honest, in this episode, like if I'm just thinking about this episode, I like Rain the most.
They got her looking all dumpy in that hospital gown.
Well, really quickly, because she's wearing a hospital gown and then the doctor discharges her and Rain says, "Oh, did I come in with clothes?" And the doctor says, "No." Do you recall her naked?
No, she was transported in the gown because she was at that other clinic. Remember?
That's right. Oh, yes. Duh. Yeah. But then the doctor says, "Don't worry, we're going to get you some clothes." And then we see Kimmie, or when we see Rain having been discharged, she's just wearing like a little thin ass robe over the.
Yeah.
That's what you gave her. Well, because also the family, the hospital she's in, that wing of the hospital, the Bellaries own it.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
They don't have branded. I mean, I know Cedars Sinai has branded. They don't have branded t-shirts.
They just went to the Lawson pound and be like, "Here."
They literally grabbed her. It's probably the robe that some old dead person was wearing, and they just gave it to her. But I do like that Rain tells Kimmie, like, "We gotta trust somebody." Shit, like
this is a fairy tale.
And life is not a fairy tale, Fantasia.
That's true. Directed by Debbie Allen. And so they pull up to the mansion where the newly anointed Mrs. Bellarie is gonna live with the other people under her protection. And why was the whole staff lined up to meet them? Like, it
reminded me of like
She the People.
Well, She the People, or like in those movies about like
royalty, arriving at their
or like 1800s America South and the plantation when like a visitor comes. But yeah, they show up, and all I could think of was She the People.
Well, because they're introduced in the same cornball ass fashion.
But anyway, before we get to that, Kimmie, the sister, and Rain are being transported to their new home by their new driver, played by Brian Tanaka.
Yes.
And that scene was crunchy as hell.
Well, because I also don't understand, he works as a chauffeur during the day and a cop at night.
Well, he's not. Well, prior to him being this chauffeur, he was the heavy for Jules.
With Truxton.
Yeah,
he's been reallocated, I guess.
So he's like a cop, but also like the heavy who's doing these random errands. Now he's a driver. And then he also works at the strip club, because at one point he says, "Well, since Delinda died, we've been trying to hold the club together."
What?
So when do you sleep?
I know.
This doesn't make any sense. I mean, are we supposed to believe that he's he still works as a cop?
I don't know, because then fucking Roy's dumbass is like, "That's my driver."
Ugh.
Okay.
We also noticed as they're driving that Kimmie's not wearing those tarantula eyelashes.
Yeah,
anymore.
I was like, oh, she looks so much softer.
Yeah. Oh, we also learned in the drive that Brian Tanaka's character is supposed to be black and Dutch.
Uh-huh.
I mean, I don't know his actual ethnic background.
They made some kind of joke about a Janapa. What was that bit by Monique in that movie Domino?
Japanegro.
Yeah.
Well, they're basically calling him the N-word.
Yeah.
And it's like, I don't understand what's happening here.
I hate the sister character.
She literally, note 17, the sister is so annoying.
She's this like bright-eyed and bushy-tailed and innocent.
Naive.
Yeah.
Dum-dum.
But
she's giving me Lenny from Of Mice and Men. I'm sorry. She is just too simple for me.
Why do you keep talking about tables?
Oh, I meant to say while we were talking about Rain's out of the hospital look, her hair is laid.
Oh, yeah.
For someone who has she's been in the hospital this entire time.
Weeks.
And she can't lay on her back. So she's like been on her side, or I guess her belly. Her edges are laid. Her hair looks nice. I mean, did she have someone coming to the hospital to get her together?
I guess.
Because she's also, if we remember, all of this happened suddenly, like the marriage. Like, this is all on the same day.
Mm-hmm.
So that means that she was in her hospital bed and then got up and is perfectly coiffed. That's crazy to me.
And discharged the same day.
Okay, so now all the family members have convened at Mallory and Roy's house. And this is where we learn that Debbie Morgan's character apparently is broke, which I'm sure will come into play, or I'm assuming we'll get more information about that. And then when Charles pulls up the gay son, Richard Lawson's character, his uncle, sees him and goes, he calls him a colon sculptor. Mm-hmm. Or was it colon sculpture? The closed caption said colon sculpture, but I thought he said colon sculptor.
Well, sculpture would make sense.
But either way, it's like, butt pirate fudge packer type shit. Like, great work, Tyler.
Hardy har har.
And then Attorney Varney shows up and he explains to everyone that Horace pulled a number on y'all because not only is the will airtight,
it's airtight,
and Kimmie is protected, but he exercised his right as the oldest sibling, which is like, okay, what does that mean? To leverage everyone else's shares. And so then he says that everyone's shares have been diluted by 10%. And they act like, I mean, obviously 10% is a lot of money if you have $100 million. Someone just took 10 million from you. But the way it's explained was confusing to me. Like, I just hate the way they talk about this will and all for a storyline that is so reliant on this will. Literally, everything is based off the will. Kimmie's safety, the games Horace is playing.
Yes, it's a magical document. Mm-hmm.
And then it's like, it's so poorly explained. Mm-hmm. I just hate it. You know what else I still hate? Charles. I hate Charles. I think he's the most obnoxious representation of a gay man.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my God, he's so awful. So then we see them being Attorney Varney and Charles talking, and that's when he talks about I love you, and Charles is being vile to him, saying like, yeah, I need to get some rest because I'm gonna go back out tonight. Like, I just don't understand.
It's kind of it's really a homophobically written character. It's exploitative for sure, because there's absolutely nothing redeeming about him, but nothing. I dare I say anything human either.
Right.
He's just monstrous. But I think you can extend that criticism to almost every other character.
True.
Especially the Bellaries, who, they're not humans.
Speaking of which, Mallory at the house with Roy, they're arguing, and Roy says to her, because she's just glaring at him, what is that, your resting bitch face? She only has one face. You even mentioned it last season. She only has one face.
Yeah, it only
she
moves.
Doesn't smile.
It moves one way.
She just scowls. Mm-hmm. So I thought it was funny that it's like, what are you talking about? She only has this one look. And then she talks about, I fix your father's shit, your mother's shit, this company shit. So that makes me the shit. That's terrible,
this
right?
Dialogue. Again, just repetitive all the time within scenes.
And then she starts berating Roy, talking about his erectile dysfunction and curved penis. Like, that is not, like, that's the best we can do. That's ridiculous. Then we, for all of us who wanted it, we get a little glimpse of Angel. He's been arrested. He looks so sad.
A little ruffled, yeah.
And for people who don't know, Angel, what's his character's name? Or what's the actor's name? Something Small. Xavier Smalls. Xavier Smalls. He's the love interest in Medea's Destination Wedding.
Yes, he is.
He's the person getting married. But yeah, he's been picked up because I forgot to mention, which Kimmie reminds us, because Roy's like, oh, I'm sorry, Horace tells Kimmie in the hospital, like, okay, well, we got some things to get situated. I'm going to teach you this. I'm going to teach you that. Now, why don't you go on ahead and go back to the house? And she goes, well, before I leave, I have to tell you something. There's another layer of trouble I've gotten myself into. Well, what is that? Well, I stole a car to get to this club, and there was this old man in the back seat, and I think he's the father-in-law of this person. Mm-hmm. So it's like news that this person's been kidnapped. So then Horace says, okay, well, I got to fix that.
But right now I need to rest.
And then we see Mallory call Felicia. And Felicia was a stripper at the club because Mallory wants info on Kimmie. And I thought it was funny. Mallory calls Felicia's phone and says, "Hey, is this Felicia? Uh-huh. Who's this? Mallory? Who?" And she goes, "The lady on the perm box." And Mallory is offering Felicia money to give her information, but Felicia won't give it unless she gets the money in her hand. And so then we get like a 3-minute scene where they go back and forth.
I don't understand why that's so complicated. Pick a fucking public place and get...
Well, I don't understand why we had this scene and then ultimately Felicia just hangs up the phone. Mm-hmm. So nothing was accomplished.
No.
And we had already we had already visited this dynamic.
Well, also, why
in the previous season where Mallory goes to Felicia asking for info about Kimmie.
Right. Why is Mallory thinking that Felicia is the one that's going to give her the best, most accurate information?
Right. When you already you confronted this woman at the strip club and she couldn't really tell you much. Right. What has happened since then but
go back to the strip club and run a little covert operation, ask everybody.
I thought it was funny though when Felicia hangs up on Mallory tells Siri to call Felicia 10,000 times. And then I tried to do that to your phone and it just called you once.
Yeah.
So I don't know what that was.
I don't know.
Okay. Getting back to the will and the 10%. So Attorney Varney's trying to tell Charles Raggedy Ass about, you don't understand how this 10% will affect you. You're basically going to lose everything. He tells him, you do realize that you have shares in the company mm-hmm. and you get a monthly stipend based on those shares. So if your shares are diluted by 10%, you're not going to be able to pay for this house, your cars, your whores, your drug habit.
But I love you.
But I don't understand how, if my shares went down 10%, why would I lose everything?
Right. I mean, is this shit that tenuous? I mean,
like, I wish he would have told him, like, because to me, I mean, my stupid simple brain is thinking like, oh, if I get $100,000 a month stipend, it's going to go down to 90,000.
Uh-huh.
That's what 10% sounds like to me. So I don't understand why it's not really explained very well. And then Attorney Varney tells Charles, I really don't understand you. And well, how does Charles respond? I bet you understand this ass. So then Attorney Varney goes to have sex with Charles. And then as he's walking to the bedroom, Attorney Varney goes, why does my dumbass keep falling for this shit? We're all asking the same question. Mm-hmm. We all want to know, what in the world do you see in this man? So Attorney Varney, after he tells Charles, I love you, and Charles basically shits in his face, mm-hmm. Attorney Varney gets mad and leaves. And the final moment of the episode is that Roy, Charles' brother, has come into the house and he catches Attorney Varney leaving the bedroom with his shirt unbuttoned and Charles yelling, you're going to come back and have sex with me. Mm-hmm. So now Roy knows that Attorney Varney is gay, which we have to remember the entire episode, Roy keeps accusing Attorney Varney of having sex with his wife.
Right. So maybe this is a good thing. Ugh. And then also Attorney Varney is like, you need to get curtains in this place, Charles. It's like, there's no other houses out here.
You're on the
private road.
First of all, we were just told by Horace's butler when they were all standing outside like She the People. They felt more like Django Unchained when they pulled up there. But anyway, we were just told that the entire family lives on this road. Why would you think that no one would see inside your house when you all live on the same road?
Yeah, your family could see.
I hate this.
Well,
but glad to be back.
This is what happens when you film 16 episodes in 12 days.
Oh, that's right. You read that.
That was a headline. I didn't read the article because I didn't want to take the time. Just like Tyler Perry didn't want to take the time in his art and craft. But purportedly, maybe there's some...
I believe it.
That's 16 episodes. That's more than an episode a day.
That's like an episode. Yeah, like an episode and a third a day.
These poor people in this were probably so stressed out doing this shit.
Oh, well, speaking of that, I listened to Steve Harvey's daughter has a podcast and she interviewed T.S. Madison and they talked about Tyler Perry because, of course, T.S. Madison plays Daga, that black market cosmetic surgeon who effed up Rain's ass. But T.S. Madison relayed a story about how she was contacted by Tyler Perry Studios to read for a part a while ago. And she declined because she thought that he knew, because she would talk shit about him a lot on her various platforms. So she thought that he was just going to have her read for something to basically reject her. So she declined that to read for that first part, I guess, like a couple years ago. And then she got another call from Tyler Perry Studios saying they want you to read for this part. So she says she sent in an audition, but she, you know, like she just recorded herself reading the lines and kind of did it half-assed. And they received it and said, can you do it again, but be more aggressive? So that's when she realized that they probably were serious about casting her. And then she sent in the new tape, and then she was told that Tyler Perry wanted to speak to her himself. So they get on the phone, and he makes her feel comfortable enough to take the role. But she was talking about when she showed up, and that he shoots really fast, and that he did not have time. Like, she relayed a story about how he was not patient with her about not knowing her lines, because you have to know your lines if shooting
you're going to go fast. Yeah,
this many pages in an 8-hour day. But yeah, she made it seem like it was very stressful.
Well, I don't.
If you're not accustomed to it,
even if you're accustomed to it, I don't know if this is the kind of art where that is most beneficial for the best results.
Well, that's how they shoot soap operas, and that's what this is.
Well, that, and I get, well, yeah,
you know, so to be fair,
that's at the level we're at. But
yeah.
But it's like, if you're talking about giving opportunities to your community, I mean,
he is giving opportunities. The problem is that the quality of the work is not, like, these actors are not, I feel like we just keep harping on the same shit. These actors are not getting opportunities elsewhere because the Tyler Perry sphere doesn't have a reputation for quality.
Exactly.
So anyone affiliated with him, I'm sure you don't see these people in other projects except the bigger names who he pulls in.
Right.
But all these people who are in all his shows, and like, I feel like serious filmmakers are not.
Well, he's not giving, you know, because there are talented people in these things, but he's not giving them the tools they need to shine
bright.
Yeah.
But anyway, enough about that. That was episode 1 of season 2. Are you looking forward to the remaining?
Oh my God.
All right. Ta-ta. I'm Joseph.
And I'm Nick.
We watched episode 2 of season 2 of Beauty in Black, now streaming on Netflix. This episode is titled When the Tables Turn, which of course made me think of Turn the Tables, Turn the Tables. Shout out to Sierra and Chris Brown.
Oh, Sierra. Yeah, talking about tables turning, Chris Brown. But the titles for these episodes, there's an upcoming one I noticed that's called The Next Chapter.
Like, yeah. That's right. What is this episode about? Kimmie, Rain, and Sylvie enjoy their luxurious new lifestyle. Roy uses his leverage to dominate a rival. Things get ugly as Jules and Angel square off. Man.
Leverage. Leverage is a word that is going to be the drinking word game of this season, I believe.
Yeah.
Leverage.
Yeah. Leverage. Okay, so we see Kimmie, her best friend Rain, and Kimmie's sister Sylvie go to their new home, Horace's mansion.
Yeah.
And first of all, the way Tyler has these 3 touring this house, they're acting so simple, just like pure country bumpkins.
I don't know what's worse than a Tyler Perry production, when people are being completely degraded or when they're overjoyed, because whenever we're watching people be happy or silly or overjoyed, it is so uncomfortable.
It's uncomfortable. Okay, Horace, that's a beautiful home, right? I'd be happy to own a home like that.
And then I'd sell it, but yeah.
But it's very old-timey. You know what it reminds me of? when you go to like the museum and they have like a recreation of
like Civil War era,
or like FDR's home, like they have a bedroom that they have in a museum. It looks like that.
It looks like something that you just show to people that you definitely don't live or relax in.
Which is crazy because we've seen Charles' home, which I think that would impress 3 young people.
Yeah, that's a lot more contemporary luxe.
Yeah, it's modern and luxe. Horace's home looks like, I mean, we had a childhood home that was decorated like that. I mean, it's not, the furnishings aren't anything. It's just like this house is kind of big. And the way they are acting as they go from one room to the next with all of the decor looking exactly the same was driving me crazy.
Right. Like one after the other. And then when you get to the master bedroom, which just has one more bench and some pillows. Oh, God.
Literally. And that, oh, God. Sylvie is she's like a mouth breather and she's all wide eyed and everything is like, wow, is this my pillow? I've never had a bed. I've never had sheets.
Sylvie is such a simple ass bitch. It's like, I kind of want, she's so simple. I want her to get slapped.
I've never had a room with 4 walls and a window. Are these curtains? I mean, she's just acting like
again, this is what you do with Rush Productions, but when she finds out there's a pool and she does that half-ass, fake-ass run to the window.
It was like those kids from Weapons. She was just flinging her body towards the window. Okay, so from the last episode, we know that Roy caught attorney Varney at his brother Charles' home and heard them having sex.
Oh, God.
So, of course, first of all, I have to say, all of these men in this TV show, Richard Lawson's character, Roy, and Horace are too homophobic. Well, certainly too homophobic to be running a beauty brand.
Well, all of that. And yeah, the vitriol is so extreme that I think it says something about what Tyler Perry does in his private time. But the vitriol, it's so exploitative that it comes across as pornographic. The way that Roy is castigating Terrell Carter, was giving sub-dom foreplay / even race play. Like that shit was uncomfortable.
So like Richard Lawson's character is supposed to be, he's not in this episode, but he's supposed to be a scientist, right? He has a PhD in chemistry. So this man is educated, a scientist. He also launders money through a strip club where they sex traffic people.
Where there are gay strippers.
He is rich, a millionaire. And he runs a beauty brand. Why is this man so homophobic? I'm not saying that can't exist. It just seems odd. Like,
well, I believe they would be, but it would come across in more subtle ways, refined ways.
I just don't believe that all 3 would be like that. I feel like,
well, especially with Rico Ross also.
I don't think Richard Lawson's character would be, he's so country and he is a scientist.
Well, even
a millionaire,
even an argument of him being a previous generation, but Julian Horton as Roy also is like, well, okay.
Yes. So Horace, I could see he's like a self-loathing homosexual, so that kind of makes sense. And then
like Tyler Perry,
Roy is his son, so maybe that rubbed off on him. But then it's like he's also young, and then like he's married to this lady, and it seems like
she's down.
Yeah, Mallory doesn't seem like she would be homophobic, although I know there are a lot of gay-friendly women married to homophobic men. But it just doesn't make sense that also you have a gay nephew, a gay son, gay brother who participates in this. It's just, I don't know, maybe because I don't come from a rich dynasty family. It just seems so odd that they're all so homophobic.
Well, and also in the year, what is it? The fact that attorney Varney is getting hemmed up by Roy because it's discovered that he's messing around with Charles makes no sense.
Well, let's talk about that. So Roy leaves the house. So then, of course, it's confusing. Like, well, why did you come over here for? You catch me having sex with your brother, you berate me, and then you leave. What did you come here for? So Attorney Varney thinks Charles set me up. You must have texted your brother to come over here to catch us. And Charles is like, no. Do you think he set him up? I don't know why he would.
I don't know what the point of that shit would be, but
Right.
who knows with Charles being a little crackhead. I don't know.
But anyway, Attorney Varney goes to the garage, which I'm still confused because
there's a bit of dialogue devoted to parking in the garage. Okay?
Right. But Attorney Varney goes into the garage and someone has slashed the tire on his Range Rover and he starts screaming like, I know that mother did it. And guess who pops out the shadows? Roy.
Ooh, you talking about me?
Were you talking about me?
I know you're not talking about me.
And then, like you said, we get this really long scene where
uncomfortable.
Roy is berating Attorney Varney. It did feel,
that felt like sex talk.
It did, and it was, considering who wrote it, I don't know, but
I felt bad for Terrell Carter because it's like this man would not let this.
Well, immediately Roy's like, let me back up because I can smell dick on your breath. And then Roy is telling Attorney Varney, you need to acknowledge that you're my bitch. I want to hear you say it. I want to hear you say, I'm your bitch. And that was the most uncomfortable part because you get Terrell Carter, Attorney Varney screaming, I'm your bitch.
Well, and after he called this man a gorilla. Okay.
He did call him a gorilla.
Like man, we need to slow down.
It's too much. Okay. Then we get back to Kimmie and Co at the house being told that they're going to go shopping.
Oh God.
And Rain is all about that money and she's all excited. And the butler, I can only imagine what that butler was thinking. Like these little hood rats in here getting excited over sheets and pillows. And
that butler sounds like AI the way he's talking about the family.
He does.
Like, oh, they're going to love you. And
like
they might
he's a robot reading their Wikipedia entry.
They might want to have dinners again.
Like so clueless. But he gives Kimmie a black card and Rain loses it. Like, that's a black card, bitch.
No, wait, hold up on this black card.
But the most crazy part about the black card.
Wait, I don't own a black card, so I might be straight up ignorant about it. But they tell her that on the back of the black card are also your debit account numbers printed on it.
Yeah, I didn't understand that. Like,
does that make any kind of damn sense?
That your debit card, well, and it's inconsistent because he says your debit card numbers are on the back of your credit card. But then later we hear
would you want
Rain say you have your credit card and your debit card.
Uh-huh.
So I just think it's bad writing and there's no like line supervisor to say like, hey, this doesn't make sense.
I mean, I might not have a black card, but I have more than one credit card and I wouldn't want the numbers of each printed on. Like, what if they get lost?
Like how my mom was like, I'm just going to write my PIN number on the back of my debit card.
No.
So I don't forget. Yeah, that didn't make any sense to me. But of course, Rain's excited. They have money now. And she almost plops her deformed ass down on the couch.
The only bit of callback to something that has happened previously to a character.
Like, oh,
really.
yeah.
She's like, oh, it should be Turner back there. Although her butt still looks big, okay? And I feel like it would look pretty deformed.
Okay, then we hear from... there's a scene where Brian... So I have to mention... I didn't feel this way about, well, season 1, I think the CGI and the green screen, especially when we're in the corporate building and seeing the Chicago skyline, looked really fake. But so far in this season 2, do you feel like the cinematography and the lighting are worse?
Okay, again, we've talked at length about Crystle Stewart as Mallory, who is a beautiful woman with a frozen face. They don't do her anything. She goes to visit the scene with Felicia at the hotel, and the lighting in that is literally they pulled back the hotel curtain just a smidge so there get light in the room, and it does neither of those two women any favors.
Yeah, and then I don't know if there's like a different cinematographer working on this 12-day shoot, but it's like they're doing different things with like angles and
they are trying more things because they're doing some close-ups on Kimmie,
some handheld stuff.
Yeah,
and it just looks real. I mean, this feels more Tubi to me this go round. Well, this episode specifically felt very Tubi to me. But we get a scene just like these edits are so jarring. All of a sudden, it's like, oh, Brian Tanaka is in the front yard petting a horse.
And that horse was chewing on that fence.
And he's on the phone with Officer Traxon. And then they're on like a 3-way call with Jules.
No, that's separate. Because Traxon says, "Don't tell Jules I told you that."
You're
Angel's
right.
In jail.
Right. We get this scene where first, while Brian is petting the horse, he's on the phone with Officer Traxon. Then they get off the phone so that Brian can talk to Jules. I thought that entire like 3-way conversation, the writing was so basic. They're all like, "Yeah, so you got it right. Okay, all right." Like that, they're not really saying much, but it takes a long time for them to get through it.
The exchange of information to propel the story forward is so leaden in all of it. So yeah.
And then as Brian's wrapping up the conversation and petting the horse, Kimmie pops up behind him like Michael Myers.
Who was that?
And then I have to reiterate, because for season 1. For the first like 14 episodes, Kimmie was unbearable. She was so downtrodden.
She's Eeyore as a stripper.
Literally, yeah, if Eeyore were a stripper with bigger eyelashes. And then the final 2 episodes, she kind of like amped up and had some courage. And then the opening of season 2, she was a little more saucy.
Well, she was emboldened.
And then we get to episode 2 and we're right back to where we started from.
Yep, Maxine Nightingale, here we go.
Oh my God. She sucks the life out of every scene.
Yeah, like even shopping, just like, the prices,
But like you said, the way Tyler writes his characters, they seem schizophrenic because we have to remember that this is the same day.
Yeah.
Like she got married this morning.
Yep, has gone to the house, seen all the rooms.
Which happened last season. So it seems like a lot of time has passed, but it's only been like 6 hours.
Yep, and she's had lunch.
Because she just had lunch.
Yep. Yeah. She should be pepped up with lunch.
Yeah. So if she got married this morning, episode 2, it's in the middle that we realize, she just had lunch.
And it finally, she has the epiphany in the store with Rain's constant goading that like, oh yeah, this shit's real.
So she started episode 1 like a character out of a Quentin Tarantino movie.
Yeah.
And now she's back to Winnie the Pooh. But it's only been like hours.
Yeah.
So it's jarring.
Maybe it is her metabolism.
I wonder, or she's like anemic. Maybe she needs more iron in her diet. I don't know what's wrong with this
I think she
lady.
needs some psych meds. God damn, girl. Come on now.
Okay, so then we get to Horace talking to that judge because he he had found out last season that his brother was laundering money through the strip club
and getting
although that seems so stupid
and funneling indentured servants through the criminal justice system to work in the club. Yeah,
if we are very wealthy because of our beauty brand, our $1 billion corporation, wouldn't it have raised red flags to you that my scientist brother, millionaire brother, owns a strip club?
Well, right.
Why in the world would he have this strip club?
I don't know. And the fact, going back to the first episode of this season, Debbie Morgan apparently being broke. Like, doesn't she work? Isn't she a preacher?
I mean,
how's she broke? Okay.
Well, right. But
anyway,
well, she doesn't exactly say she's broke. She's just saying like
the season,
she wants all the money. Like she's saying she's not broke, but Richard Lawson is saying, "Oh, I think you are broke."
Well, they put that shadow of a doubt. So,
but Horace calls that judge in because he wants to talk to him to basically help Kimmie with her whole stolen car situation. And then he tells the judge, get this other guy on the phone named Daniel, who was helping them launder the money. And the other guy's like, I'm in Paris. What do you want? And Horace starts talking his shit. And the guy's like, you're saying all this over the phone. And Horace goes, you know how I roll. All this shit is secure. Sir, you made that phone call from someone else's phone, sitting in a hospital bed. Like, what is secure? And then
is it secure like that will? Is it airtight?
But the biggest gag of that scene is that the Daniel guy, I guess, is like, it was his family member who was abducted in that car. And so, of course, it's trouble because they messed with the wrong person. But Horace is like, listen, you have to make this go away. Kimmie cannot be in trouble. And so the guy goes, fine. If you leave me alone with my money laundering shit, I'll leave Kimmie alone. But my wife is going to want someone to take the blame for this. And that's when the judge goes, oh, well, there was some guy who was picked up with the car. And Horace goes, great, kill him. But of course, Horace doesn't know that that's his lady love, Angel, the sexy stripper. So Horace unknowingly sells out Angel. Okay, you already mentioned this, but Mallory goes to see Felicia at that damn motel that everyone stays in.
Felicia's played by Kajani Smith, by the way.
Okay, I have to say, Felicia is funny.
She's funny, but I felt bad for this actor going through this scene.
Because from the last episode, we know that Felicia said she'll tell Mallory what she wants to know about Kimmie, but like, you have to run me my money in person. So, of course, Mallory drives herself. She refuses to get in the car with her new driver because Roy doesn't want her driving with the old guy.
What's his name?
Who was dating
Calvin.
And what was his girlfriend's name?
The one you were making fun of all the time. It started with a G? Was it Guinevere or some shit? No.
I wonder if she's coming back. Oh, what was her name?
Because we just saw her.
Because I had a lot of fun with her character.
It'll come to me anyway.
Oh, how could I forget her? I made so much.
Jillian.
Yeah,
I know. Start with a G. Okay.
Yeah, I wonder if Jillian's coming back. Anyway,
I mean, I don't need her to, but okay.
Roy didn't want Calvin driving Mallory, so Jules sends over this other guy, like an equally handsome man, to come drive Mallory. Like, I don't understand. But get some butch lesbian to drive her. What's the problem here?
Right. She immediately sees this man. She's like, no, you're not driving me. Get out of my way. And he goes, I'm sorry, we got off on the wrong foot. What? He just showed up and looked at you. I don't.
So she pulls out and Jules tells the new guy, follow her. So she gets to the motel.
Oh, by the way, what I was going to say, you know what people use now for their dirty deeds done dirt cheap? Venmo.
Oh.
You don't need to pay money in the hand. She could have sent Felicia Venmo money.
Well, no, because remember, Mallory was saying, I'm not going to, like, you have to give me, remember she says it's like a deposit. Like, you have to give me a little, like, I'm not just going to give you money and then you didn't tell me anything.
But I mean, they didn't have to go through this whole rigmarole.
Well, I'm sure. So Mallory gets there, gives Felicia the money, and then she starts spilling the beans.
Well, no, first she sits on this bed and she straight up pushes aside a Q-tip on the bed.
A dirty Q-tip was on the bed.
While Felicia's bouncing on it like a 10-year-old girl.
And of course, Mallory is like, I've never been in such filth. But yeah, Felicia starts spilling the beans and sort of divulges stuff that Mallory didn't know, like how Jules is their pimp, how
he's working with this judge.
The judge basically like helps sex traffic these men and women.
And that's what happened to Kimmie and Sylvie.
And then she divulges that there's this old man who came in the club who was into Kimmie. And that's when Mallory shows Felicia a picture of Horace. And she goes, yeah, that's him.
He's old, but he could get it.
So now Mallory kind of knows what's up.
And then Mallory says, well, you could get any... You're open for anybody. She's so disparaging to Felicia.
Well, at first...
And
when first of all, when Mallory shows up at the motel, Felicia's like, damn girl, why you come so early? I'm a hoe. And then when Mallory is asking Felicia because she wants to know more about Angel, and Felicia's like, well, you're asking for a lot for $3,000. Mallory says to this woman, you know how bad your box has to get beat up for $3,000. You better talk, bitch. Like, damn. And then Felicia sees Mallory's car outside, which is a Rolls Royce convertible. She's like, oh, you have a nice car. Like, let's go for a ride. Where are we going?
I don't know why she would do that.
Why?
That makes no sense.
But Mallory goes, no, bitch. You smell like you want to be alone.
And that was where the writing went. They wanted to give Mallory a line to say to her.
That was funny.
It's a good line, but it makes no sense that Felicia, and they do Felicia so dirty. They give that actor, you notice as the door's closing on her, a greasy neck. Her neck was straight up greasy.
Oh.
Like, and I don't know if it was probably hot in there.
You know,
there's probably no AC.
I would have loved for the dynamic duo in this, like, you know, the heroine, Catherine Zeta-Jones. I wish the heroines would have been Rain and Felicia.
Yeah.
I need a little more life.
Well, because he's trying to paint Kimmie as this innocent that there's something good about her.
Yeah, but I wanted to see these young ladies like turn up a little bit, like get
Exactly.
excited sometimes and think like life's going to turn around, and there's just no excitement. If Rain weren't there, this would be unbearable to just watch Kimmie ho-hum around. And
I mean, it's like, can you get out of this slump, girl? Jesus Christ. You got your sister with you.
You got your sister back.
Now let's be fierce and protect ourselves. And
I'm sure it's going to get there, but...
Well, knowing Tyler Perry to run around in circles forever until like, boop.
Then we get to the jail where Angel's being kept, and Jules shows up and basically is threatening him and threatens to deport him back to the Dominican Republic. I just need to understand, who is Jules? Who is he? Is he the chief of police? Is he the police commissioner? How does he have all of Chicago PD on lock?
Well, the way this is written, I would say no. But
he is in an interrogation room saying extremely incriminating things.
Mm-hmm.
So he just has everyone not monitoring, not recording. Everyone who works in this police station knows to not mess with Jules.
He seems like he's in the same level as like Regina King and Caught Stealing. Like somebody who's been there a long time, has a lot of influence, but not at the top. You know what I'm saying?
It just doesn't make sense to me that Jules has all, because also we find out that Brian Tanaka is still working as a police officer. So you have and then, I didn't mention.
He answers the phone.
Yeah, like Officer Tanaka.
But you're not on duty.
And then the new driver, Mallory's new driver, who she won't let drive him, he's also a police officer.
Right. Who Jules tells to straight up kill himself. Okay, like, no,
so
sir.
So you have all of these Chicago PD people working for the Bellaries, the Bellaries. So. No. This just, and they're all corrupt. And I don't know if I mentioned this. Did I mention that we find out that Officer Traxton and Officer Tanaka owe Jules money?
I think we kind of knew that.
I don't know that
I forget what we knew, because then in an interaction with Roy and Mallory, it's like, oh yeah, she's the one that straight up killed that woman.
But like everyone owes Jules money, and so they're all indebted to him.
Right.
That plot point to me is crazy. Who is Jules? How does he have so much power over everyone?
I don't know.
It seems like he's more powerful than...
If these people were smart, you know what they'd do? They'd all get together and murder him. And then they'd all be set free.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's just how I think, though.
And then Angel thinks he's going to clap back at Jules, because Jules is threatening Angel. Like, if you don't tell me what I want to know,
we're going to beat up your child.
We're going to kill your child and send video of it.
But hey, remember that baby mama set his car on fire in front of...
She did.
So
but then Angel's dumbass claps back at Jules and says, like your 10-year-old Tiffany? So he kind of threatens him, which was a bad idea, because then that scene ends with...
In distress.
Yes. However, Horace finds out that it's Angel who's the guy who was locked up with the car.
Yes, because Officer Tanaka tells Kimmie, who calls Horace, and then here we go.
So, of course, Horace gets his Angel out of jail. So Angel's safe. Well, but not quite yet. But
no, not safe, because Horace inadvertently put the mark out on him.
Right. Mm-hmm. But Horace was able to get him out of jail. But it was too late.
Yes.
Like the mark was already on him. But we'll get to that, because that's how the episode ends. But before all that, Kimmie, Rain, and Sylvie go on a shopping spree. And Tyler couldn't even do this right. And I know he's taken many people on shopping sprees. Like, he should know how to do this.
Many young men.
That shopping montage was so raggedy. It felt like it was shot guerrilla style, and the editing was so crazy. It was like they just went on some street in Atlanta that has boutique shops, and you see like Gucci bags, Balmain bags, Louis Vuitton bags, and then all of a sudden they're in this boutique.
the one that they probably got the permission to shoot in, really.
And then they're
also, the bank scene looks...
Oh, we're going to get to the bank.
Okay, anyway.
But the shopping situation, the minute they get in this little boutique, the like a personal shopper shows up like, oh, Horace contacted me to say you were coming. I already arranged.
Horace, who's dying in the hospital, is calling a personal shopper.
And she's like, we already selected some clothes for you. And then Kimmie, looking all downtrodden, is like, well, I don't know. This really isn't my style.
None of these are me.
And the personal shopper is like, well,
he said your trifling ass would say that.
But you're going to be going to the office, so we think suits and dresses are the way to go to set up, a powerful tone. And of course, Rain's like, bitch, take all of it. Let's buy all of it, because they're thinking we need stuff we can sell if things go left. And then they end up at the bank. And Rain is telling Kimmie, you need to see if you have access to cash. So they go, and the personal banker, of course, is very happy to greet them. And
you also brought up a good point, like on the black card, it says Kimmie.
Oh,
is that her name? Is that her government name?
Yeah, is her name actually? Wouldn't her name be Kimberly?
I don't know.
And also, she just got married this morning,
right? And they got all this shit set up.
So they have all this shit set up, but also, like, does her driver's license say Kimmie Bellarie? Like,
right?
Does she even have a driver's license? She's been
they can pull a lot of strings. She's still got to go with the DMV. Okay?
She's been sex trafficked. Does this woman even have a driver's license?
Right.
But she gets to the bank and asks, well, how much money do I have? And the personal banker is like, well, you have 1.5 million in checking and 1.7 million in savings. And that's with Horace? No, those are just yours. So that's just my money.
Rain goes, we want it all now.
And then Rain's dumbass, we want it all now.
Girl.
You think they have 3.2 million in cash ready for you? So Kimmie says, no, but I do want to open up 2 separate accounts, one for Rain and one for my sister. And I want to put $500K in each. And it feels really premature to do all that. But okay. And then the episode ends with Angel having been released from jail, and he walks to the bus stop, and this like Ford Mustang pulls up with like a machine gun and mows down everyone at the bus stop. So you have like 6 people, dead bodies piled on top of Angel.
I don't believe he's dead because this man steps right in front of him as the shooting starts. So.
Like again, this filmmaking is so weak because it's like the way it's shot. It's like, oh, you deliberately have this person step in front of him so that next episode we can see that he was just badly injured, but he's not dead.
Right.
Because you can't kill Horace's love interest. Like, you can't kill Angel. Not just yet. Well, that's all for episode 2. Is there anything else you'd like to say?
No, we have more to get through.
All right. Ta-ta. I'm Joseph.
And I'm Nick.
We watched episode 3 of season 2 of Beauty in Black, now streaming on Netflix. This episode is called Blaze of Beauty. A sibling showdown exposes grudges too deep to reconcile. Norman takes care of unfinished business. Olivia crashes a dinner for 2.
Oh, God.
Okay, I knew I was in trouble when the episode starts with Angel at the bus stop having been shot. Which we saw at the end of the last episode. And at the end of the last episode, it looked like there were like 5 people piled on top of him.
There was. And
then when we open this episode, there's only one person on top of him, and he's in an entirely different position. So, okay. Then immediately we cut to Horace in the hospital. He calls Jules and asks, did you cancel the hit on Angel? And Jules confirms that it did happen. So Angel's dead. And of course, Horace is.
But y'all know, even before it's revealed,
you already know true. That. Yeah.
Oh, God.
Then Mallory meets with Jules, or I guess Jules goes into her office.
Yeah, she has demanded that he come there. Yep.
And basically, she's telling him, I know everything.
The jig is up.
I know y'all are using the strip club to launder money, blah, blah, blah.
She wants to know how deep is Roy involved.
She says, I know I'm beautiful, but don't take me for stupid.
Basically
Okay.
the same thing Roy said last episode.
Right.
Everyone thinks I'm stupid, but I'm not. Okay, when you have to say it.
I feel like these are very insecure people to constantly have to say they're not stupid.
Like, okay, well, actions speak louder than words, honey. All right.
Mallory also tells Jules, we both know these hoes ain't loyal. Talking about Kimmie.
Because now Jules wants to kill Felicia because Felicia told her everything. And now she feels some kind of way about protecting Felicia.
Then we go back to the hospital and Norman, Richard Lawson, Horace's brother, visits him in the hospital.
Norman.
I would think that Horace would have security at the hospital.
Yeah, no, just walk right in. The way that Kimmie, Mrs. Bellarie, was escorted into the house, being introduced to a fleet of staff. Yeah, he would have somebody outside his room.
Why isn't there someone? I find it strange that
monitoring who's coming in and out, because you don't know if one of these Bellaries might kill him, even though it's not in their best interest. But you don't know.
Because of the will.
Because of the will. Yes, the airtight will.
But Richard goes there and basically says, like, why are we fighting? And Horace goes, you don't know why we're fighting? First of all, you had an affair with my ex-wife.
Mm-hmm.
You tried to take the company from me. We had to go to court.
Mm-hmm.
And then all this bullshit you've been scheming all this time, and you don't know why we don't get along. That scene was kind of crazy.
But we're also forgetting so many things, because wasn't it hinted that, because when we thought Charles was dead because of the blown up Lambo, that Norman was behind that? Wasn't that a thing?
Yes.
I mean,
well, yeah.
I feel like they forget how much dumb, weird shit has gone on between all these characters.
And then, of course, Horace tells Richard, the jig is up. I know what you've been doing, laundering money.
Mm-hmm.
So it's made very crystal clear to everyone what's really going on.
Yes.
Okay. We talked about this in the last episode. Richard Lawson's character is a scientist, a millionaire, running a beauty brand.
Mm-hmm.
And he's a part of his shares of the company are tied to an airtight will
that
says if he's convicted of anything, he loses his shares.
Yeah.
So why would someone in his position
be so stupid?
Why would you be violent like this? Why would you launder money through a strip club?
That's the problem with this empire. Like these people, realistically, to get where they have gotten to, would be much more cunning than they are.
Or yes,
one or two stupid ones, like a Roy, I'm sure,
right.
But like a Mallory, she would be cunning, and
yes,
then she's not written as such.
And I think for Richard's character to do what he's doing, I think it needed to be established that he's having serious money problems.
Yes.
And that's why. Because even
that to take such risks and such sloppy ones. Yeah.
Because I was reminded in this episode that Debbie Morgan killed one of her little tricks.
Yeah, I remember that stupid bag thing that made no goddamn sense.
She's also a part of this will.
And she's also a little like loose around the edges, like getting drunk and loud in these restaurants.
Well, it's entertaining. So,
but it's just like,
but it's ridiculous.
Lady, everybody's got phones now, and if you were like a pillar of the religious community there, trust that somebody will be filming your dumbass saying this shit out loud.
Actually, I feel like to drop the fact that she's a spiritual leader with her own like
flock
institution and
with
flock.
Her own sheep, yeah.
She is real loose and crazy.
Exactly.
Like, yeah, I mean that really doesn't make any sense.
No.
Okay, so accident. Mm-hmm. So the Charles and Attorney Varney have a conversation.
Mm-hmm.
And Charles tells Attorney Varney, don't hate me because I'm living out loud. Which, of course, Christine W. has a song called Living Out Loud that I really like. But anyway.
It's also a movie with Holly Hunter and Queen Latifah that's quite entertaining.
Really?
And Danny DeVito, yeah. Remember I was watching it?
Yes.
Holly Hunter dancing to Brownstone?
Yes, dancing to Brownstone. I remember that part. Yeah, this is going to segue into the next scene, but I don't understand why, and we talked about this in the last episode, Attorney Varney is just so scared to be gay. And we learned that he's most intimidated by Horace, who is a homophobe.
Well, sure, but he doesn't want to be out based on his clientele outside of the Bellaries, it seems like, as well, if I remember correctly. But see, this is Tyler Perry showing up on you. That this is Tyler Perry's fears. I don't believe that Attorney Varney would be so scared to be homosexual.
So Mallory goes to see Attorney Varney in his office at her building and says, take me to dinner. So then we get a scene with them at dinner.
Mm-hmm.
And this is the only time I can recall in the now 19 episodes we've watched that Mallory actually seemed like normal.
Well, there was that one scene where she had drinks with Charles randomly as well. Where isn't that where she first went to the club?
Yeah, well, she went to that weird like brew pub type place that looked like.
and Charles, of course, was showing his ass drinking too much, but she seemed to like him, and they were bonding.
Yeah, but that felt a little. This felt a lot more like This was the first time I felt like she was like a human being.
She lets her hair down with the gays.
And I think that's the point, that she's gay friendly, because she tells Attorney Varney, like, I know you're gay.
You should feel like a weight's lifted off your shoulders.
Like, shouldn't you feel like a weight's been lifted off your shoulder? No, why not? Well, your father-in-law's a homophobe. Well, you're right. But, now that you're out, I'm not out. Fool, you don't think my asshole of a husband is not in the process of telling everyone right now? Mm-hmm. But Attorney Varney hasn't told her that he's basically using that to
blackmail him.
But he does say that your husband's going to make my life hell if I don't remove Kimmie from her spot. But then it's like,
how are you going to do that? The will is airtight.
Well, but also the entire family has already told Attorney Varney he needs to do that.
Ironclad.
So why would Roy's request be any different than what the family already told him to do?
But he can't, right?
But Roy's stupid, so whatever. But it was kind of nice seeing Mallory be acting like a human being. Mm-hmm. And then I thought it was funny that, because, the way this series is shot, we see Mallory eating. Like, it looks like she's actually eating like chicken and vegetables.
I think she had to, because they shot 16 episodes in 12 days. So this was lunch.
I believe that. Yeah, I think she was actually eating her dinner.
She was like, I got to get it in. I'm going to pass out. Yeah.
Also in that scene at the restaurant, we see that Debbie Morgan is there with some trick of hers.
Yeah, being loud. Mm-hmm.
And she's drunk and walks over to them and basically cusses out Attorney Varney. Like, why? You're the one who arranged the marriage and rewrote all the stuff. Did it not occur to you that this would be a bad idea?
But also Horace is in charge, right?
But Horace is the head person in charge.
Mm-hmm.
So of course I would do what he told me to do.
Uh-huh.
This family is so toxic and stupid.
Well, that's the thing. It's like, whatever.
Then we get Kimmie and Rain talking, and Kimmie is still acting all sad and paranoid, and Rain is like, come on, girl, we need to like turn up. And Kimmie says, no, we need to activate. We're a couple of hood bitches. We need to activate. Like, we need to come up with a plan to get out of here. But Rain's like, no, I want to enjoy this. Like, I want to go to the club. Also, Rain tells Kimmie she doesn't want the money, the $500,000. She says she wants the club. Mm-hmm. And the funniest part of that moment is Rain tells Kimmie, I'm not like you. You smart. I think we're all in trouble then.
Has Kimmie displayed that is true? I don't think so.
Kimmie's upset her mother hasn't called to check on her sister Sylvie.
Again, exactly.
Your mama sold her into sex trafficking.
And you too.
And you too. Why would she call and check on you?
You should have that bitch's number blocked. Like, why would you want to talk to her?
Why would she check on you?
No.
So then that's when Kimmie says, I need to get my sister out of here. She
needs to have a regular life in the dorms.
Well, because she took like her early, I don't know, like she got her GED. I don't know.
I don't know what early.
Because the sister acts like she's 12.
But you got all this money now. Enroll her in some school.
So she says, I want to send her to college.
Just do it. Sylvie's simple as hell.
Well, Kimmie tells, the funniest part of this is Kimmie tells Rain, you're in charge of convincing Sylvie to go to college.
Not the person for that.
Rain is in episode 1.
We hoes. We don't go to school.
I will never forget that her best friend told her, girl, don't get an education.
Uh-huh. Well, and then still did her dirty because she needed that little hotel room to get her BBL installed or whatever.
Right. Installed.
It
makes me think of, back in the day, because, I've had many cars in my lifetime, but back in the day, you would, like, I would get the car and then you go take it to a shop to like have it pimped out. Mm-hmm. And so like the new cars I would go and get like a sound system installed. Mm-hmm. But that was like a big part of like the late 90s, early 2000s experience. Mm-hmm. Okay. So
get a 5-disc player.
Charles visits Roy after Attorney Varney has told him, like, your brother's going to blackmail me.
Mm-hmm.
And again, Roy is so homophobic and can't seem to process gay sex and is talking about Attorney Varney like he's some big old gorilla looking.
It is so offensive that we are speaking of Terrell Carter this way. My God.
It really is I mean, it's too much.
You two little minis, you can't be talking about this man like that.
It's too much. It's too much. And then at one moment, he's just so homophobic. And in one moment, you're calling him this big old gorilla looking man who, like, he can't even process how he's having sex with your little petite self. And then in the next moment saying, like, I'm not afraid of him. What's he going to do? Scratch my eyes out?
No, girl. No, come
girl,
on.
That man will whoop your ass is what he would do.
Mm-hmm.
But
it's all big talk. That's people that talk like that. It's all talk.
But then, so his brother's sitting there saying, like, you need to leave Attorney Varney alone. Like, I'm trying to protect you.
He has a mean streak.
And then Roy's smoking weed and passes the blunt to Charles. Charles takes a hit. And then when Charles tries to give it back to his brother's like, well, I don't want that. I know where your mouth has been. Why did you pass the shit to him in the first place?
Well, right.
The way Roy is acting specifically makes no GD sense.
No.
It's like,
it's like you all are affiliated with a beauty brand. You cannot tell me that you've come across some FAGs, okay? and that you had to be nice to, okay?
Yeah, I hate Roy, and I think that's the point, is that we hate him, and I'm hoping he gets killed soon. But so Jules meets with Richard Lawson's character Norman, and then basically they say that the judge has to go.
Although I don't know, he seems like a really very easy to manipulate, and I don't think he's going to cause much harm to anybody. I don't understand why they have to strike so hard against this judge.
Well, then they're saying that the judge probably told his wife what they do, so like they both have to go.
Well, and if he's more cunning than y'all, he did more than just tell his wife. He has something set up to protect himself.
Well, right. Like, I don't think, whatever. I'm sure it'll all come to light. But Rain has Brian Tanaka's character drive her to the club because she wants to see what's up. Officer
Alex. Although that makes me think of his first name, but I guess it's his surname because it's Officer Truxton and Officer Alex.
Traxon.
Like
Jackson.
Traxon.
I have to remind myself.
Action Jackson, starring Carl Weathers. Yep.
So Rain is arguing with Officer Alex, saying, like, you work for Kimmie, and so you do what I say. Like, okay, you're going to take me to the club.
Kimmie staying in, getting her hair.
And she calls him a Japa nigga, which
the offensiveness.
He just told you he was black and Dutch. Why are you calling him that?
And then she's like, konnichiwa.
So they're driving and he's talking to her saying, and this is when Officer Alex divulges that he owes Jules $200,000, which is like, damn, Jules has air. Even Rain says Jules just be making up numbers. Like,
yeah, how?
We also learned that Officer Alex is like indebted to him, and also like his brother and mother are also like wrapped up in something.
Yeah.
So he's telling Rain, I need you two to help me. And in turn, I can help you because in my position, there's a lot I can do for you. Mm-hmm. But Rain's not convinced. Then we get a scene with Sylvie and Kimmie. So Kimmie and her sister are sitting on the couch, and Sylvie's simple ass goes, you know, you're on the internet.
The World Wide Web.
You know, you're on the internet. People are talking about your marriage. And that's when Horace calls her. And then I think the most awkward moment of that scene is Sylvie wants to talk to Horace. And the way he rolls his eyes.
He's like, I don't want to. It's like, it can't seem more like I have no interest in you, girl. I have nothing to say to you.
But she's like, hey, Horace, it's Sylvie.
I've been looking up cancer treatments in Thailand.
I think there's a promising cancer treatment in Thailand that'd be good for you. And he's like, okay, yeah, put your sister back on the phone.
Did the Bellaries not know how to use the internet?
Well, would it be a gag if we find out that Horace never sought a second opinion or alternative treatment?
I mean, with his writing, I would not be surprised.
So I'm betting you that he does end up in Thailand.
Mm-hmm.
But
he's going to be on White Lotus.
So Mallory, back at the dinner scene with Mallory and Attorney Varney, she tells him the way you get a devil off your ass is to be a bigger devil. And you said this dialogue is wearying. Yeah. And I agree. It gets exhausting, and they're only like 40-minute episodes.
Like, oh my God, it's so bad. It's like,
so again, I'm complaining about the cinematography, but it hit me that this is shot like that movie, The Ritual, starring Al Pacino and
Dan Stevens,
which we commented was shot like The Office.
Yeah, like a comedy. Mm-hmm.
It's really odd. Yeah, it's shot like a comedy kind of.
About the only thing that seems fitting is maybe the score, which creeps in very obviously in moments where terror is going to happen.
Oh, I do want to mention in the car ride with Agent Alex and Rain, he gets a call from Traxon, and I guess in an effort to show Rain that he's loyal, he pretends he's in the car by himself and puts.
Okay, and this is the sloppiness of this conversation is why you need more than 16 days or 12 days to film 16 episodes of a TV series.
Because Officer Alex tells Officer Traxon
that he's alone.
Because Officer Traxon says, "Are you with that fake booty bitch?" And he says, "No, I'm alone. I'm driving." Okay, so then that's when Officer Traxon starts running his mouth and
says Angel died. It was a hit that was put out by Horace Bellarie.
Right. He's just spilling all the beans. And Officer Alex tells Officer Traxon, "Oh, well, then I'm going to kill Rain." So they're saying all that. And then Officer Traxon says, "Wait, so are you with them?" And then he goes, "Yeah, I'm with them both." But you just said you were alone, and now you're saying you're with them both. And this man's been on the phone running his mouth, and then he doesn't even react.
And it's like a less than a 3-minute conversation. Come on now.
That was really stupid.
Then
we get Angel. He looks as good as he's ever looked. So did he not even get shot? Was he just like, did those people just fall on him?
But was he pretending to be dead?
Or was he pretending to be dead?
He wasn't blinking while so-and-so was taking pictures of him.
Because we see Angel go to his baby mama's house and cause a scene saying like, "You need to get out of here. Where's my child? They're going to kill you."
The assassination scene, it was daylight out and it's evening by the time he gets to Yolanda's house.
That doesn't make sense to me.
Right.
Like, so you laid there for hours? Or it took you hours to get to your baby mama's house? Like, I mean, I guess the Chicago.
Also, he's the fall guy for that old dead man in the car. Is a word going to get back to the relative that needed some kind of comeuppance that
Angel's alive?
That Angel's been killed?
I mean, that man seemed like he was pretty high up. Like if it's confirmed that guy's dead, it's probably done. But I'm sure it's going to circle back.
But it's not going to be confirmed because he's not dead. So
well,
that's so sloppy.
Well, no, because Officer Traxon is confirming that he's dead.
He's confirming that he's dead, but there's no the Angel's body never made it to the morgue because he's not dead. So where's the confirmation? Is they could have just lied in the first place and said he was dead then.
That's true.
And
then the final scene is Richard Lawson's character Norman goes to the judge's home, and every scene with this judge, that man looks so nervous.
Yeah.
But he's having dinner with his wife.
Oh, God.
Candlelight dinner, just the two of them. He's wearing a suit.
This is how TP think old straight married couples act.
I don't believe that man would be in his suit.
And with candles?
Because he's kind of big and he's wearing a 3-piece suit. Yeah, not even a 2-piece. He's wearing a 3-piece suit. There's no way he's sitting in his own home with just his wife in a 3-piece suit.
No. No.
Because he can eat. There's no way.
And then Richard Lawson comes in. The wife's like, "I'll set a place for you at the table," and then takes forever to come back with a plate.
And while she's preparing the plate, Richard Lawson's questioning the judge. Like, "Are you sure she doesn't know anything?" And you already know what's going to happen. So the final moment of the episode.
Well, wait. We also get the judge and his wife have a nightly ritual washing the dishes together. No.
That was so dumb.
That's so stupid.
Also, I mean, they seem like they would have help.
Yes. A judge with that house?
Well, and that kind of money?
Yeah, no, they are not washing dishes together. I'm sorry.
But anyway, Richard Lawson leaves like, "Okay, well, thank you for the meal." And the wife's like, "Well, we'll see you soon."
When we clock what was going to happen.
He gets in his Rolls Royce and it's going to happen even more because he slowly drives off, and the way it's shot the house is in the background.
But he doesn't go far enough away either,
no, he's just kind of in front of the house. And then we see the wife go back to the dinner table and say, oh, I think Norman left something.
He left a box.
And it's like it's not a briefcase. It looks like something ominous.
Something like you'd have jewels in, maybe. I don't know.
And then the house blows up.
Again, that seems like we're going hard on a minor player.
So Norman killed the judge and his wife.
Uh-huh.
So, I mean, I guess that's one loose end tied.
I don't know. There's also, we get a detail that this judge is the only one that wanted to work with Jules and Norman to funnel people into the club to work there. So what are they going to do now? Isn't their whole operation blown to shit with this club?
Yeah, they're not going to be able to get more.
Yeah, there's not another judge on tap that's funneling them people.
Yeah, because they get all of their employees from the judge.
Now, see, if the script were more slick, we wouldn't know that.
Well, maybe.
I don't know why we even need that detail that he was the only judge that was doing this for us.
Maybe Richard thinks like these shenanigans can be done. So
I guess, but the way everybody's acting about the club is it brings in so much money and they're so desperate to keep it going, even though Delinda's been murdered. Like, I don't know. The way they act about the club is like that they need it.
Right.
So,
and I don't understand why.
Whatever.
Anyway, that's episode 3.
Anyway,
anything
my name's
else?
not on this shit, so what do I care?
All right. Ta-ta. I'm Joseph.
And I'm Nick.
We watched episode 4 of Beauty in Black, season 2. This one's called The Next Chapter.
We know we're making great TV when we call an episode The Next Chapter.
A deadly development shatters Kimmie's trust. At Delinda's, a dancer targets a VIP for a potential payday. Rain pumps Alex for info on Angel. Okay. This episode was terrible.
Yeah, but you know what? The silver lining is we're halfway through part 1 of season 2.
It opens with Delinda's son at the club. Delinda was the owner of the club, who's now dead.
That raggedy ass bitch, yep.
And he's like, well, my mama had a will, so this club is mine. I want to get access to the records. I need to get into the office. But Officer Traxon stops him from doing so for the time being. Uh-huh. But I'm sure the son's going to come back at some point with lawyers. But so that happened. Mm-hmm. Then one of the strippers at the club is trying to rob Charles,
who we met before.
And this time he's trying to engage a new character who we met as Mallory's new driver.
Yeah, and one of these other cops that works all day long.
Well, I mean, we can only, because nothing's explained to us, we have to assume that these people have a full-time job at Chicago PD.
Yeah.
And then spend the rest of their time working at the strip club and killing fools for jewels.
And also driving during the daytime.
And also working as chauffeurs.
I don't know how that works, especially since this one says, he gets his money so he can, go home. But when do you go home?
Yeah, when would you ever go home?
Right.
Then, Rain found out that Angel's dead, so she has to call Kimmie to tell her, which I don't know. She knows her friend.
I don't know why you wouldn't just wait to tell Kimmie's ass until you get back home. Because she doesn't even get to step foot inside the club, which it looks like that backyard barbecue sex sale that happens is no longer going on because that's where they park. And then she calls Kimmie, who of course freaks out. And she's like, we got to leave. We got to get out of here.
So then we get a scene where Kimmie is trying to get her sister Sylvie out of bed.
Sylvie wakes up. This bed's so comfortable.
This shit is so basic. It's so predictable and basic. Not like I don't know where the story's going, but just like the things the characters are going to say, you can predict because everything is so remedial.
But
Sylvie's dumbass is like, no, I'm not getting out of bed until you tell me the truth. So Kimmie tells her sister, like, okay, well, this is what happened. When mama kicked me out, I got into some mess by selling drugs, and then I got arrested, and I was told I could either go to jail or work for Jules. So then I worked in the strip club selling ass and lap dances and all that.
Mm-hmm.
And I met Roy, Horace's son. And Horace used to come into the club, and he's into men, not women. So I would get Angel for him.
And Sylvie's like, what? He doesn't love you?
And then this dumb girl, yeah, like, did you see any love between your sister and your new brother-in-law? And then she goes, and then Horace had this bright idea to marry me to get back at his family. And then he just had Angel killed. And the look on Sylvie's face.
She's like, he's not capable of that. I looked into his eyes.
I mean, when you think of the word dumbfounded, this girl looks so dumb. Just sitting there like, what? This isn't a wholesome love affair? And
but it's like, y'all, you're not in imminent danger. You could, this one episode 4, this is still over the course of one day, right? Like, Kimmie's tired. She needs to sleep.
So it's the night of their wedding.
Yeah. Kimmie, you need to take yourself on down to bed.
Well, but remember my how dumbfounded I was last season when we realized that, like, we were like 6 episodes after the Lamborghini burns up, and it's only the next day.
Right.
But so
and then I forget that the private road and all them shenanigans, that's in Indiana. I've totally forgot that they're driving back and forth.
Is it?
Remember, because Mallory lives in Indiana. Remember, that's a plot point in this.
Oh, that they are pretty far from their office, which is crazy.
Yeah.
This ultra wealthy family, their compound is far away from their corporate offices where they go every day.
I can't believe somebody hasn't sung a song called Private Road for this series.
I mean, I don't know if they go every day since we're, how many episodes? We're 20 episodes in. How much time has passed?
I don't know.
Days? Yeah. I don't know how many days have passed.
Tyler Perry, I think, just I think he's operating the fact that we keep too exhausted keeping up with the chaos, much like what's going on in the country right now, to keep track of the smaller details.
So then we cut to Horace in the hospital, and the doctor walks in, and he asks the doctor, "How's it going?" And she looks at him like, "Well, you're still dying."
She goes, "Not good."
Not good, but I can show you on my iPad.
On the tablet. And then I'm like, "What, do you got GPS on his cancer? Like, what are you going to show him?"
And then it's like, "Yep, see, it's bad.
It's bad. You have weeks or 2 months to live."
And then he's like, "Well, can I show you something?" And then he shows her the information about the treatment center in Thailand that Sylvie sent him. And the
doctor's like, "We already told you about that."
"Yeah, I told you about this." "You did?" "Mm-hmm." "Are you sure?" "Yeah. You said
you want to die.
If I'm going to die, I want to die on my own bed. So you didn't even like you didn't want to hear what I had to say." And he's like, "Well, that does sound like some bullshit, I would say, but I think now I want to try versus just sitting here letting myself die." So then he seems like he's about to die. Which I think we need to highlight because when we get to the end of the episode, I was a little shocked at how it ends. But
because she's like, "I'm surprised you're sitting up."
The doctor looks shocked that he can even sit up, and he looks like he's dying.
He's like, "Can you patch me up enough to make it to Thailand?" She's like, "Well, the same facility is in Italy, and that's closer. And I mean, patients that have means. Oh, keep in mind this is Eastern medicine. I can't guarantee anything, but I've seen."
And it's a long flight, and he says, "Well, I have my own plane."
She goes, "Of course you do.
Of course you do." So I guess she patched him up enough, but then we cut back to the restaurant where Attorney Varney and Mallory were having dinner.
This portion was tricky.
I think this is I think Debbie Morgan's character in this episode is probably, so far in the 20 episodes, like the worst of it all.
The fact that she did not get backhanded in this,
so
this was hard to watch.
It was Debbie Morgan in this episode was really hard to watch because we know from the previous episode she's at this restaurant drunk, and coincidentally there at the same time Attorney Varney and Mallory are. So when we first see her in the restaurant this episode, she's screaming across the restaurant to Mallory and Attorney Varney to come see her. So they walk over and she's being loud and saying like, "No, I'm leaving." And then she causes a scene because the guy who she's there with, who she says she bought a car for, says that he can't come home with her and that he can't drive the car she bought him.
She's mad, although this man has not one line of dialogue.
Hasn't said a single word, and the audience doesn't know what he did, but she keeps saying that he did something to make her mad.
Uh-huh.
So she tells him he can't drive her home and that he can't drive the car she bought him. And then she says, Attorney Varney, you're going to drive me home.
Mm-hmm.
And Mallory runs interference like, well, he's going to drive both of us home then.
Mm-hmm.
So they are on the drive home, and in the car, Debbie Morgan's character is just acting so annoying because she's like drunk acting.
Mm-hmm. And then she's hitting on Attorney Varney.
She's hitting on Attorney Varney and then asking him like, ooh, this is a nice car. How much does it cost? Oh, we must pay you too much. It's like he's an attorney.
Mm-hmm.
And this is a previous generation Range Rover. I mean, I'm pretty sure that he can afford this. But they get her ass home, and she insists that he walk her to her door. So Attorney Varney walks her to her door. She's like, oh, well, this door is not going to open. You need to take me around the back. And it's like, why would you do this? Then he opens the back door, lets her in. No, you need to walk me all the way in.
My skin was crawling.
I was so triggered and uncomfortable.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And then he stands there and lets this woman interrogate his body.
He is this season's Kimmie. He's being victimized left and right. It's so uncomfortable.
This is what Tyler Perry did to Derek Dixon.
Yeah, it's like to Terrell Carter. Like, come on now.
But but we were both thinking, why are they afraid of Debbie Morgan's character?
She is lowest on the hierarchy.
She is literally at the bottom
of these Bellaries. Like, backhand that bitch and get out the door.
None of the Bellaries respect her.
No. Mm-mm.
Why are they so afraid of her? What is she going to do?
Plus, she's so drunk. Who knows what she's going to remember? But it's like, push that. Oh, my God. Anyway.
I was very bothered by this scene. It just didn't make sense to me. So then, of course, Mallory's like, why am I waiting so damn long in this car? So she walks into the house.
What I say, at least we can depend on this bitch to...
I have to say, the last 2 episodes, Mallory has been earning her keep. But she interrupts and then, drags Attorney Varney out. Okay.
And remember that he didn't even want to go to dinner with her, and he was busy doing other bullshit, and she yanked him away, and then he gets carried away. It's just like, it's a nightmare for Attorney Varney.
I'm hoping that this is setting up. I'm predicting, because I did predict that Horace was going to marry Kimmie.
You did.
That was my prediction from season 1. My prediction for season 2, I think Attorney Varney is going to be on the come up. I think he might get a nice little chunk of change somehow.
And then, meanwhile, Kimmie, do you remember the Disney cartoon Bambi?
Yes.
Do you remember the partridges or the grouse that that know the hunters are there to get them and panic and fly in the air and get shot and killed?
Oh,
that's what Kimmie is doing.
Okay. Well, but here we're gonna get back to that, but first we have to. Rain has agent or officer Alex, Agent Tanaka, Officer Alex, drive her back
immediately
to the house because Kimmie's on
one. Yeah,
she's nuclear meltdown.
She's gonna what is it? Fly the coop. What's that saying?
Yeah. This bird has flown.
This bird has flown.
Madonna. But
trip the station, change the channel.
Yeah, as they're driving back, Rain is trying to figure out how can we, because Rain is starting to trust Officer Alex, but Kimmie doesn't trust him because she doesn't know what's going on.
Kimmie is so traumatized she doesn't know left from right.
Well, she also is so I feel like Kimmie is trying to act like she has street smarts.
Not at all.
But
girl.
it's like, hello, we met you a week ago and you were like a sitting duck. You were just so dumb to everything.
Still is, yes.
But Rain is trying to figure out from Officer Alex, how can we get a hold of a car and just run away? And he's like, well, I don't advise you do that. Well, I don't care what you think. How would I do it? Well, I mean, there are cars all over the compound. I mean, and the keys are inside, but there's a gate and it's always monitored. So then here's my problem with that.
The same one I have. Yeah.
First of all, if they're being monitored that tough, if there are all these people monitoring the private road and the gate and all that, how did no one know
that Mallory hit Norman's wife?
Right.
No. I don't care if it was raining. They would have known that if the private road is truly monitored, there would be no plot to this series.
And then how would they not know that after Mallory hit that lady?
Exactly.
In that black SUV, that then after that, Roy and his Aston Martin picks up the body.
There's no
and takes
way.
it away. Like,
yes.
So no one saw that.
No one saw either of those two major dramatic catalysts. No, does not make sense. The private road indeed is not monitored.
So, okay. Getting back to, well, first, so Traxon calls Jules to tell him about Delinda's son showing up.
Giovanni.
And Jules is at the judge's house, just standing in front of this house that's been blown up, talking very loudly on his cell phone within everyone's earshot.
But it's airtight.
But everything's airtight. Yeah. Everything's airtight and secure. And all I could think of is, so they have this elaborate money laundering scheme and sex trafficking ring. And apparently, I mean, you have judges and law enforcement all tied into it. And then this David guy who's in Paris, who I guess is like the money person. You have all these people who are crossing all of their T's and dotting their I's. And no one thought about the person who owns the club and what would happen if that person decided to get rid of the club.
They got too much going on, I guess.
Or they get killed, or there's some sort of a lien on the club.
Right.
Like, no one thought of that.
And
because when Jules finds out that Delinda's son shows up, he acts panicked. Like, well, what are we going to do?
Yeah, you better talk to him and convince him not to get his lawyer involved. But my question was, because all these other people at the club seem fat, dumb, and happy almost, like the bartenders at least. It's like, does everybody else know the chaos going on behind the scenes?
Well, are there any employees at this club who are legit?
They're not indentured?
Like they have W-9s and like,
right.
Or are they all indentured? I don't know. Speaking of things that don't make sense. So we see, all of a sudden we get a scene where Angel's baby mama Yolanda, her brother shows up.
Okay, so this is where the editing is all messed up because it makes no sense that we see that there.
Because he runs in going, oh my God, girl, we gotta go.
Angel's been killed.
But in the previous episode, after we thought Angel had been killed,
he went to Yolanda's house.
Right.
And asked for a charger. And there was a neighbor that was going to call the cops, but offered to come down and give him the charger.
Which we never see.
But so he apparently didn't get the charger, which doesn't really make sense. And then the scene after Yolanda is taken out of her dirty ass apartment, then we see Angel in Horace's hotel room.
His hospital room. God. I was so confused.
Still hasn't had his phone charged. Like, wait, how has he not?
So I thought we were seeing the ghost of Pussy Past. I mean, I just don't know what's happening. Why?
Well, that's what Horace thinks.
Well, and Horace is also
dumb, says like, I had you killed.
Well, Horace is out of it. He's in the bed like damn near dead and sees Angel and is like, what are you doing here? I had you killed. And like, Angel's like, what? What did you say? Well, no, what? Why? How are you here? He says like 5 times, how are you here? And then finally, Horace like kind of snaps out of it and sits up and goes, wait.
The communicate. This should be called Beauty in Black miscommunication.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
So finally, Horace explains
kind of well enough
that Kimmie was in trouble because of the whole stolen car and the old man in the back, that I had to do something. I had to give them someone to put the blame on. And I gave permission for it to be you, but I didn't know it was you. They just said that they had picked up some guy in the car. Mm-hmm. So that's the explanation. And then, Angel's like, well, can I charge my phone? I just think that plot point of him not being able to charge his phone.
Can I charge my phone? And then he's like, are you trying to set me up? And Angel's like, it's just a phone charger. Keep in mind that Horace earlier had guaranteed everyone and all that
everything is secure.
That everything is secure on the phone he's using, but he's afraid that a charger
is going to blow up his spot. This is crazy. I don't know how Horace gets anything done.
But remember, this is the series that gave us some version of some nonsensical scrambler.
Oh, I forgot about the scrambler.
The technology and what it can do. Also, when Kimmie calls Rain in the car on the way back to the house so they can flee, they're trying to talk in code so Officer Alex can't determine what they're saying. It's like, why aren't you all just texting?
Well, I mean, I guess it'd be more of a record.
Like, just say, don't tell this what is going on, and I need you to find out this. That's all. Who cares if there's a record of that?
Well, okay. Rain finally gets back to the house, and Kimmie and Sylvia are already packed. Suitcases ready. Kimmie even made a suitcase for Rain. And she's like, okay, well, let's go, bitch. And Rain's like, you need to calm down. Like, we need to think about our exit strategy. Like, we can't just get up and leave. They're still out there. The gate is monitored, and Kimmie loses it. And I'm so surprised no one slapped the shit out of her, because in every movie and TV show you've ever seen, when someone acts like that, they get slapped. I don't know why Rain didn't slap Kimmie.
I don't know. Well, you know what? She got her hair did, and it looks nice at least.
But the funniest part of this scene is Sylvie is sitting on the couch
crying,
looking like she has food poisoning.
She is crying.
It's just like, this is insane. This is absolutely insane.
She gets woken. It took me out when she gets woken up, and the first thing she says is, "This bed's so comfortable.
I've never slept in a bed with sheets that isn't on the floor
in an old-timey time house."
Yes, like in an old-timey time house.
In this horribly decorated house that should appeal to no one that doesn't want to visit a museum.
I'm surprised Horace's house looks like that. Because he seems to have more style than that.
You would think. His house needs to look like a closet homosexual's house would.
Right. Or more masculine. He's so he's such a self-loathing homosexual. It's like, I would expect his house to seem more like a man lives here. Like more leather and wood and dark, and it's
something that betrays elements of his nature in some way.
It's like one notch off from like Little House on the Prairie to me. So the episode ends with Rain being like, "Bitch, can we give it a beat and think about what we're going to do?" And then immediately we cut to them running to the black SUV, and then some other security person saying, "Where are you going?" "We're going to go for a drive." "Well, let me get you a driver." "I don't want a driver. I insist. Listen, if you don't open those gates, I'm going to run through them." "Ma'am, those are
wrought iron." She's like, "Well, try me." And then she gets in this car, and I know we saw her drive last season. Yeah, because she drove Horse before. Remember that Gardner's truck?
That's right. But she gets in that car and starts driving down this private road, and it's chaos the minute she takes off. And then
they are not in imminent danger, okay?
They're not in imminent danger, and then they see headlights coming towards them from a parked car.
This creepy ass car sitting at the far end of the driveway. Now, come on.
And this lady just runs off the road. She doesn't. She doesn't slow down to try to determine what's like. She just runs off.
I don't even know what she did to the car, because all of a sudden it's not. She's spinning the wheels but she didn't hit anything.
Well, because the production is so awful, and I'm sure they didn't want to actually wreck a car, so it's supposed to mimic like her running off the ditch and getting stuck, but it's not. It just looks like she ran off the private road.
And she's on the side of the road. Mm-hmm.
And then they also make it seem like she hit her head on the steering wheel, and that the car is stuck. And then who walks up to the car looking fit as a fiddle? Horace's ass.
Asker in his gruff, low tones. You trying to go somewhere, Kimmie?
So, the way this episode was handled and some of the shots and scenes, it almost felt like a horror film.
Mm-hmm.
Like they were trying to do something like these are spirits or something. Right? Because the way Angel popped up, the way Horace popped up.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Ugh.
But it's like, to me, that's not like a terrifying ending, a cliffhanger, because it's like finally they can communicate, and he can say like the hit on Angel was an accident. Right. You dumb, and maybe you should ask me.
And I'm assuming that Angel drove Horace there.
I don't.
So I'm assuming the next episode where Kimmie's going to see Angel's not dead.
Why were they sitting down there? Why hadn't they driven all the way up to the house that he owns?
I mean, I'm assuming that they just made it there, but yeah, why would they have just sat at the end?
They were sitting. Why are they lurking? That makes no sense.
For dramatic effect.
It's stupid.
But that's not how you tell a story.
Mucho stupido.
You know what would have been more fierce is they made it to the front door as Kimmie's walking out and arguing, and then when they step out, Kimmie's shocked, like, "Wait, I thought you were dead." And then the episode ends. It just... I'm also noticing that it's almost like Tyler's trying to do a Shonda Rhimes, like where every episode's a cliffhanger.
Oh yeah, he's definitely that is more pronounced this time around for sure.
But the issue is that it's
dumb.
It's just dumb. It doesn't leave me. I mean, obviously, I'm looking forward to the next episode so I can get these over with. But yeah, it's...
Well, I'm curious to think, like, does he think this is good at all?
Yes, of course. He thinks... He is very proud of the shit he writes.
I don't know what...
And he's very proud of how fast he writes it.
Okay.
I know he thinks he's giving us something we can use. And I don't know. We said the same thing multiple times last season. It's fun to talk about because I'm being recorded and I know people are listening. So I'm enjoying watching it, but I can't imagine just sitting on my couch after work and wasting my time on this for nothing.
Giving this my time with no record.
With no one to talk about. Like if I had a homegirl at work who we were going to say, like, let's watch, because that's happened before where like, oh, let's watch this and then we're going to talk about it at work. Mm-hmm. But even like, I don't even know if that were the situation for me. Like I have a coworker who I like talking to and we both watch this. I think all we would do is complain, and then it gets old after a while.
Yeah, and it's too long, and there are too many episodes.
But this, I know we said this about one of the episodes last season, that it was like the worst one because it didn't give us anything. So I'm not going to say this one is the worst one so far of the series, but this didn't feel good.
How do you follow up the title of the next segment after the next chapter? It's going to be the last chapter. What kind of title is that?
Okay, well, more to come. Ugh. Ta-ta. I'm Joseph.
And I'm Nick.
We watched episode 5 of Beauty in Black, season 2. This episode's called Hunter's Prey. Mm-hmm. A meeting with Horace pulls Kimmie deeper into the game. Rain hits the club with a score to settle. Charles brings home more than he bargained for.
Again, still in the same 24-hour period.
Yes, this morning Kimmie got married. So we know that Kimmie's dumbass ran off into the ditch trying to get out of the private road, and Horace had popped up like the ghost of Maple. Mm-hmm. So this episode, he's like, what's going on? What are you doing? And then like we predicted, Angel pops out the SUV.
And immediately, alarm. Kimmie, what are you doing?
And then, of course, they're all shocked because they thought he was dead. Mm-hmm. So they get back to the house and Horace is upset because he's like, why don't you believe me? Why don't you trust me? And to be fair to Kimmie's dumbass, why would she?
Well, right.
Y'all after everything she's been through.
Y'all a pit of vipers, okay? Y'all raggedy. Why would I believe you?
Why would I not believe that you're just using me and that after I heard that my buddy was killed, that I wouldn't be next? So, I feel like Horace needs... But also Horace's time is limited. And he did tell her, I don't have time to be nice about shit. Mm-hmm. So I will say...
And once everyone has effectively communicated at long last in episode 5, he agrees that her thought process about thinking that he put the hit on Angel would make sense. That she would react that way.
You said something funny that the butler is like that Microsoft Word paperclip because he just keeps popping up like, how may I help you?
I can show you your room. And they keep calling him the N-word and shit. I would imagine him saying like, that offends me.
Yeah.
Please don't call me that, Angel.
But the butler shows Angel to his room and he can't believe what's happening. And of course he has to reiterate that he's not going to do butt stuff.
Nope.
But Kimmie reminds him that Horace's penis doesn't work.
And you've done worse for less.
And that you've done worse for less. I don't know why she would think Horace's penis doesn't work, but...
Well, I mean, I'm sure he could ask for fondling and massage, but
So Debbie Morgan, she calls her son Roy to warn him that Mallory Bellarie is having sex with attorney Varney. And he's like, Mama, your drunk ass, that is not happening. And she's mad because she thinks she knows. She can sense when this kind of thing is happening. Mm-hmm. But he basically hangs up on her like, that's not happening. Then...
No, but he tells her that attorney Varney is having sex with Charles.
Oh, duh.
And then Tyler Perry's continuation of promoting stereotypes is she goes on and on about he's a big... blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
So how could that be?
So then, of course, she calls Charles to ask about it. While Charles at the strip club doing
Colombian cocaine.
With the stripper who wants to rob him. The stripper who told him he wanted to rob him. But then said, no, why would I do that when I can just pay? You can just pay me for what you want. Like,
no.
That's called work. People steal shit because they don't want to work. Exactly. Like, hello. But... the scene that I think went viral on social media about how raggedy this season is Debbie Morgan calling her son Charles, the gay one, and basically saying, like, are you, and not in these pleasant of words, are you having sex with Attorney Barney?
With Jim Barney.
Because that's a big N word, and who's the bottom? And
I mean, it's not like those conversations don't happen with ignorant people, but it's just so sleazy.
Yeah. I don't want to go on and on, but it's just kind of unbelievable how these people act. They are a very wealthy, high society family. This is generational wealth. This isn't like...
This is not new money.
No. And they are acting just...
raggedy.
I don't understand how they have a corporation and they haven't been sued by every employee who ever worked for them. Right? Because the series doesn't focus on the fact that Beauty in Black is a major beauty brand with headquarters, a high-rise building in downtown Chicago. I just don't understand how they run a business.
Well, it's just like a woman like Debbie Morgan, we've seen her ordering hits on people. She should have more of the composure of like what's her name, Griselda Blanco.
Sure.
She should be running shit more like that. She just seems like a drunken old woman. It's embarrassing to see Debbie Morgan.
It is embarrassing to see her in this role. And I agree. She should be a little more cool and slick and like venomous instead of just like some drunk old bitch, like saying nasty things. And then, it's fun to see like her. I think there is a better way to show this woman of a particular age being sexual, but the way it's handled is just kind of tawdry and...
Well, she doesn't seem like she owns it, not in the least.
Well, no, and then this actor is not really giving... I just feel bad for Debbie Morgan because I know I've watched her in interviews talk about this role and how much fun she had, and I believe it.
I believe that.
And I'm happy that she's a busy actor, but... yeah, she deserves better than this. I think her character could have been much more smart and sexy. She is not sexy. It's embarrassing.
It's grotesque. That's what it is.
So, of course, Attorney Varney took Mallory back to her place, and she's like, well, you're not going to drive back to Chicago. You should stay with Charles. And Attorney Varney's like, I can't stay with Charles. What if Horace sees me? Why would Horace see you? Horace see you. He's in the hospital, not knowing that he's actually back home.
Also, can't you park your ass back in the garage like last time?
Well, even Mallory says like, well, what about all the other times you were over there? Like, right. Whatever you did to sneak in there and have sex with Charles, why can't you just do that tonight? So he does end up going to the house, which we'll get back to. But then Mallory walks into her own home and Roy's there, and they're just being petty.
An incredibly pointless scene.
So pointless and petty. Basically, well, because then Roy is, I guess, in the mood for love because he's asking Mallory if he can watch her shower.
Which, to be fair, I wanted to be like, is she going to really wash her makeup off or get her hair wet? Because that would be a sight to see.
Yeah, that would be a shock.
Interest peaked
if we see Mallory with
what's that woman look like
with her? I want to see Mallory on wash day with no makeup on. That's what I want to see. But she starts belittling him about how
his crooked penis that don't work.
That his crooked penis is suffering from erectile dysfunction. I was fully expecting him to slap the shit out of her.
I can't believe he hasn't hit her because he seems like that.
Right, exactly. But
okay,
you can't hit Mallory. I don't want anyone to hit Mallory.
She probably doesn't want to call her surgeon in the middle of the night.
Well, and
in the face.
I feel like a woman like Mallory and I would be friends. I just couldn't work for the bitch. But, well, I don't know. I did work for some awful ladies, but and they were nice to me. But then it's like, listening to you talk to other people is like, I hope you get hit by a bus when you cross the street.
Exactly. I'd start to hate you.
Yeah. But Rain goes to the club because she's trying to get info on Daga. T.S. Madison's character, who gave her those rotten ass shots.
Where's she pumping?
So she goes in and we find out that the new bottom bitch, because of course, well, there's also all this ambiguity about the former bottom bitch body.
Yeah,
who Kimmie beat up and hit with a car, whether or not she's alive, because
her family's got a GoFundMe
for her funeral.
But again, the person feeding us that information is Felicia, and I wouldn't believe her to be a reputable source.
I don't think Felicia is trying to set anyone up. I think Felicia's just most concerned about herself
and talking out of her ass, like a lot of people we've known, you know.
So I don't think Felicia. I think Felicia just wants to make her money, but yeah, we get conflicting reports on what's happening with Body, but the new bottom bitch is a woman named Shake Shake.
I hate that name. Shake.
Although she seemed pleasant.
But that name, Shake, that's the name. Can't be Shake Shack.
Yeah,
so
her name is
stupid.
Shake.
Shake.
And
okay.
Felicia tells Rain, oh, well, the new girl
is
being groomed to get ass shots from Dega. Oh, really? So a letter? When will I receive this letter? But Rain goes to the new girl and Shake talking about, oh, you should get your ass done. Look at mine. It looks great. Well, I heard you almost died. Girl, I was just being dramatic.
I'm fine now.
I'm fine now. Does it hurt? I mean, it's a little sore, but look at it. You'll make money. But here, if you are nervous, I can go with you.
She's like, well, I'm doing it tonight.
Well, she wants to do it tonight. Perfect. Here's my number. Text me when you get there.
We're doing it at the You Can Stay Here motel.
Okay, here. I'm going to lose my train of thought, but we have to talk about this motel that was also featured in a different Tyler Perry.
Yes, it sure was.
Production.
Yep. Mm-hmm. It was. Isn't it in She the People?
Is it
/ Ms. Governess or whatever?
Yeah, I think it's also featured in She the People. But this motel, like you said, is called the You Can Stay Here Motel. Mm-hmm. That's upsetting to me.
You Can Stay Here and Never Leave motel.
That's the name of the motel. You Can Stay Here. But
that new girl that's about to get it done is nervously, she keeps grabbing on her hair, and I don't know why, because it's just going to make it bigger and it looks real stiff, but she looks so worried just staring at herself in the mirror.
I know. And she was a beautiful young lady. Poor thing. Like, well, I mean, again, I'm still curious, is everyone who's working here in debt?
Right.
This is really alarming. But I got ahead of myself, because when Rain first walks in with Officer Alex, Officer Traxton sees her and he's like, damn, that ass don't look too bad, but I don't want to see it outside of her clothes. Like,
man,
poor Rain, y'all nasty.
Everybody knows everything.
And then you said it, but Felicia's running her mouth in the back when Rain is trying to figure out like who's going to go see Dega, and Felicia's saying something to her, and Rain goes, bye, Felicia. So I feel like they just named Felicia that so they could get
that reference in, yeah.
But we get back to the house and we see that Horace is kind of upset with Kimmie. Like, you need to trust me, but I understand that you were scared about the whole angel thing, but we need to get back on track. And he's like, you need to get your head in the game, which I used to have a High School Musical, one of those things you tap and it goes, get your head in the game. Oh, I missed that toy. Oh. I also got that around the time that I had a remote controlled fart machine. Oh. And I used to work in a hospital in the inpatient pharmacy, but I worked overnight. So the inpatient pharmacy would serve as the outpatient pharmacy, meaning that people who would leave the emergency room would come down to get their prescription filled. And I would say 75% of the people were people who were seeking opioids. So they would sit in the ER for 6-7 hours just to get like 4 Percocet, which is what we were given back then. And so I put this fart machine in the lobby and then they'd all be down there and I would use my remote control, and it had several different settings, like different kinds of farts,
of course, like
the long wet ones or the quick loud ones. And it would be dead silent because it's overnight. And those people would just be there looking stank. And all of a sudden you hear a I have to say, I have a lot of fond memories of that job and the people I worked with and some of the stunts I pulled. And I met you while I was working there. So
that's right. Well, not on the job.
No, not on the job.
I wasn't seeking opioids.
No, but our pharmacy, because I worked at like the county hospital, so our pharmacy provided the medication for the Red Door Clinic, which was like the gay men's clinic where people went to get their STI.
Yeah, I was familiar with that
testing done, and so all the medication came from our pharmacy. So all these homosexuals would come in at night to get their stuff, and it was always awkward. Like, oh hey,
hey girl,
see
you at the saloon tomorrow.
See you tomorrow. But yeah, I got off track anyway. She needs to get her head in the game. But the wildest part of this scene, well, there are two wild parts. The first part is that Horace tells Kimmie that he chose her because she is
smart, ruthless, and calculated. Who's that woman?
Who that is?
Not here, not in this show.
That'd be like I said I married Nick because he's sweet, patient, and
well, okay. Well, no need to demean me because of Tyler Perry's bad writing.
Sweet, patient, and simple. That's why I married Nick.
Well, I'm not a simple bitch. I don't know why you would want one. Anyway.
Smart, ruthless, and calculated.
Maybe Mallory.
Are words that do not describe Kimmie.
Kimmie?
Do we know Kimmie's last name?
Bellarie.
Well, now it's Bellarie, but what?
Rode hard and put up wet.
Is it worth trying to look up quickly? If I go to IMDb, does Kimmie?
It just says Kimmie.
It probably will say Ballard. Oh yeah, it just says.
It just
Kimmie.
says Kimmie. We don't need to know.
Darn it!
Darn that!
What do you? Well, first of all, her government name can't be Kimmie, like we said. It's probably Kimberly.
Kimberly.
What would be a good last name for Kimberly?
Dum Dum. Kimmie Dum Dum.
Well, dummy in Spanish is tonto. Well, she'd be tonta, so maybe she can be Kimberly Tonta.
There you go. Yeah, that's about thematically correct. But yeah, definitely not smart, ruthless, and calculated. But he tells her like, I need you to read this book I have.
Oh, okay. That's the next note. Why does Horace? This man says, I need you to go grab this book.
You know what? I would have shit my pants if it was Ayn Rand's The Fountainhead. But anyway, yeah, he says, go get this book out of this box.
Or Business Management for Dummies, one of those yellow books. But he says, go, there's a chest over there. Go get this book.
I Know Why the Cage Bird
And it's like one of those things you got. No, what's the one from
Their Eyes Were Watching God?
Oh my God.
You were going to say
I'm
Zora
so
Neale
embarrassed.
Hurston. What were you going to say with the Z?
Zora Neale Hurston's book. What's it called?
Their Eyes Were Watching God.
Yeah.
Well, she has a couple books.
But that's the one I read most recently. But yeah, what if it's that? But anyway.
I'd be so perplexed, but also intrigued.
But we're in this bedroom, this old-timey time bedroom, master, as the Microsoft paperclip keeps telling us. And he says, go over there in that corner and get the book. And it's one of those like chests that we have one in our bedroom too, but it's like one of those ones from Home Goods that's like faux leather with the studs. And I don't know what people put in those. I have like extra sheets and pillowcases and
yeah, we have innocuous things in there. Yeah, people put things in there.
He has a folder. It's not a book because at first I'm like, oh, it's going to be.
It's like something you get at a work conference.
What's the book they had for Wicked? The Grimmery?
It's not a Grimmery.
Or the book like the Evil Dead book.
No,
I thought it was going to be made out of human skin.
It's like something you would get at a work conference.
No, it's like one of those folder because folders when I was a kid in the 80s, folders are expensive.
They were.
You would think a folder would be like cheap, but no. And then the bigger the ring gets, those folders would be like $4 or $5, which in 86 is a lot of money. So I would get the smaller ones and just try to make it work. But anyway, he has one of those, like an old basic ass folder, and it's in this.
Can you send me the PDF, Horace?
But here's the real gag. He tells this lady Kimmie that the contents of that had to be like a 1 inch or 1 1/4 inch binder.
There's not a lot of material.
There's not a lot of material in there.
No.
He says that within that binder folder is everything that will explain how the company is divided and how it runs.
If she takes an Adderall, she can get through that in an hour.
This billion-dollar corporation.
Yep. That's right. That's right.
Not only how that like the organizational hierarchy, but
I mean, I'm sure
how it runs is all contained in these like 7 sheets of paper.
I would have loved if the camera had given us a snapshot of some of the documents in there.
Oh my God.
Because it's probably just like maps around the Tyler Perry studio.
Well, people were laughing at me in the podcast saying that Derek Dixon being shy to show Tyler Perry his script like a cat with a crayon. What if it were sheets of paper with like how like when they try to mimic a first grader writing in crayon. But anyway, yeah. Then Kimmie says something about...
She starts looking at it.
She starts fumbling through it.
Why does the CEO and the CEOO have the same blah, blah, blah?
And Horace is impressed. Like, wait,
like,
wow.
You can read.
Yeah, he should have said that. I didn't think you could read. And then he's like, well, that's because I'm both. I have both shares, but now that you're my wife, you're the COO. So now we have equal shares. And he's like, do you know a lot about business? Well, I read a little bit.
What? She's not, now she's Goodwill Hunting.
Right. And then he's like, well, why don't you tell me what you know? And then we fade out of the scene with her saying, well, this research and development is outdated. What?
Girl.
What does Kimmie know? Kimmie wasn't smart enough to take her ass to beauty school.
Kimmie crack corn and I don't care. That's the level she's at.
Okay. Then we get back to the club and Officer Alex and Officer Traxton they're having a conversation that they're trying to figure out something, but what is that something?
What are we gonna do? Because
do about what?
Officer Alex gets filled in on Giovanni, Delinda's son, coming, and
that scene was pointless.
It was all pointless. Yep.
What? Imagine writing a scene in a TV show where like you have 2 characters just talking about nothing.
Yep.
Just to fill up time.
Well, like, they're all their hackles are raised because Roy has made a
surprise appearance
because he wants a woman.
He is in the mood for love, and he picks out 3 girls, including Rain, and we see Rain.
No, not Rain. Felicia.
I'm sorry, Felicia.
He knows that Rain's there,
but he knows Rain is there, and he's concerned. And we see Felicia doing. Felicia must be a real life exotic dancer because she's very good on the pole and she's very flexible.
Yeah, but she's just standing there in front of him, just clapping away, clapping her ass.
Then we see Charles bring the stripper back to his place, and we have to remember that stripper is trying to get the new officer to help him rob Charles. Mm-hmm. And he keeps saying, I'm not going to do shit unless you send me pictures of proof of what the house looks like, what you're trying to steal.
This man is a red flag factory. For what he is so obvious and transparent about what he's about to do to Charles. By the way, all the questions he's asking, snooping around, Charles is so dumb.
Okay, I feel like whatever position in life you're in, you become accustomed to how people respond to that. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Like,
and how people are trying to manipulate you.
Like if you're a rich man who's always around sex workers, you would think after a period of time,
their hustle is
to try to get money out of you.
Is on full display.
But Charles just is so dumb. Didn't you just get a Lamborghini wrecked because you let some stripper from the same club stole your shit? They stole your wallet and your keys
that you keep going to. Also, it's just like, the not shitting where you eat is like, there's too much drama going on at this club right now. There are no other gay bars with strippers or anybody that you can go to. Why? In Chicago. Nowhere doesn't make any sense to me. No.
But he brings him back, and as we already know, Attorney Varney is there. And of course, Charles doesn't give a damn about what Attorney Varney thinks and tells the stripper to go back into the room and take his clothes off. And of course, while the stripper's back there, he's taking pictures of everything. And Charles catches him in his closet and still doesn't think it's weird.
But the funny thing is, the first thing he sees is this cologne. He's like, oh, yeah.
Well, he was trying to take pictures showing that this person has nice stuff.
Sure, with all these ties.
It does look like this would be a place to rob. And then he takes pictures of the safe, and it looks like a collection of luxury watches.
This man is not going to give him the combination to the safe.
Oh, hell. I'm assuming they're going to either steal because the safe wasn't that big. I'm assuming they're just going to take the safe like old girl did in Night Always Comes.
Yeah. Sure, that's a lot of work. I don't know.
But the episode ends with Rain telling Officer Alex to take her from the strip club to the You Can Stay Here motel.
Well, she doesn't say. She just gives him directions.
Well, at first she's just telling him, like, take me where I tell you to go. And he's like, bitch, you need to, I'm trying to prove myself to you. You need to let me help you. And I need to know what I'm walking into. Like, what is the plan? And so finally he tells her, listen, if this is what you're trying to do, like get revenge on Dega, like you need to have a plan. Tell me what you're going to do.
Blood in, blood out.
Do you have a weapon? And she pulls out this little pistola. And he's like, nah. And he pulls out this big handgun with a silencer. And he says, I'll take care of it for you to prove myself. And she's like, no, I don't like to hand my enemies over. So he's like, fine, well, let me go with you and like just be your backup. So then we see Dega.
Well, and she's doing it in the name of she's going to kill some other girl. It's like, but that girl, if you don't kill her too, is going to be a witness.
Right.
So, okay.
But first of all, it's always lovely seeing T.S. Madison. And she looks like a villain. She looks like whatever Little Red Riding Hood saw in the woods. That's what she looks like.
Well, she saw a wolf, but okay.
But in some versions of like, how some stories will kind of
like in Freeway.
Yeah, and then it's always like some creepy thing in a hood. That's what T.S. Madison looks like.
She turns out, you ain't got to worry, girl. I'm a nurse. But in a cryptic way that's like, I don't believe
But before shit gets started,
Shake is there.
Shake is running her mouth talking about, to the new girl. Like, girl, don't be worried. Lots of people get it. You saw Rain. She looked great. And Dega's like, what?
Rain?
You saw Rain?
Drake?
Well, when did you see her? Today she was at the club, and then Dega freaks out like, oh shit. And then next thing you know, the door knocks and it's Rain. She's like, open the door, it's Rain.
Okay. No secrets.
So, can't wait to see what happens.
Uh-huh.
Is there anything else?
Nope. Let's get through this.
Ta-ta. I'm Joseph.
And I'm Nick.
We watched episode 6 of Beauty in Black, season 2. This episode is called The Enemy of My Enemy
Is My Friend.
Rain and Alex handle cleanup duty. A vicious insult leaves Roy dripping with rage. Kimmie's poolside breakfast comes with a side of shade. You know what? Now I just realized, what was the insult? We're going to get to it, but he gets mad while he's getting having sex with strippers and walks out.
No, the insult is the innuendo with the dripping.
The dripping? Oh, that's what he's mad about?
Yeah, well, he gets peed on.
Oh, well, we'll get to
insult. Yeah.
We'll get to it.
I mean, some people like that.
So the last episode was Rain knocking on the motel door to confront Dega.
And Shake.
And
what's the other girl's name we learned? Young Thing. That's so demeaning. But, Young Thing. Okay.
So they go in and Rain confronts Dega, T.S. Madison's character, saying, you almost killed me, but I didn't. And they start fighting. And I have to say, that fight was better than the fight we saw last season.
Yeah, he's learned a little bit. Also, he's learned the hospital sequence. People are actually hooked up to IVs.
Yeah. Uh-huh. So they get into a fight, but things get a little out of hand because T.S. Madison, Daga's character, pulls a gun on Rain. Mm-hmm. And of course, Officer Alex had accompanied Rain as her backup. Mm-hmm. So this man shoots and kills
Dega.
And Shake.
Dega, T.S. Madison sure didn't get a lot of dialogue this time around.
No, and the man who was there, I didn't see him get killed.
Was his name Chase?
Chase,
he was getting manhandled by Officer Alex, but yeah, I didn't see the death scene.
Which is odd because Officer Alex is very concerned about there being a witness because he's about to kill Young Thing.
A.K.A. Adeline.
Yeah, her full name is Adeline Gale Fortemont. And she's 18. She's from Alabama.
And she's about to go right back there.
And Rain says, no. She's not going to say anything.
Well, what did I say when, you're going to go in here with the purpose of saving this young girl from being, killed by Dega.
But then you're going to
have to kill her anyway.
But Rain convinces Officer Alex not to kill her, which again is odd because I don't think he killed Chase.
She's like, you want to be down with us? You better let her go.
But they let her go.
Mm-hmm.
Then we see that Charles Raggedy Ass let that stripper
Dustin.
sleep there.
Dustin is his name.
Dusty Dustin sleeps.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what? Okay. Okay, this is my question about the stripper. Did he not notice that they entered through a guard-gated private road?
What? See, the details about the private road, how it's monitored, how it's guarded are...
We were just explained 1 and 2 episodes ago that this private road is highly surveyed.
And once you get in,
guarded,
you cannot get out.
Monitored, all the things.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But you mean to tell me that you didn't notice and that you thought that you were going to have your homeboys run up in here and just steal?
With a delivery truck at
and
the
then
break of dawn?
Right. So then the other
so shout out to Sir Mix-a-Lot.
The other new officer is like, no, we're going to come during the day and pretend to be delivery drivers. But I feel like
while this fool is awake,
wouldn't security be like, they would want to verify, like, do you have a delivery?
I don't think there's security at the mouth of the private road. I just don't.
But we were told there is.
I think that's just some bad writing.
It can't be like that. Like, this is such a plot point
because
that the private road is secure, but then everything that happens would indicate that there is nothing.
You know what? It could have cleared that up. Like, it's a palatial estate that's like a gated community. That there's only one way in and out to this scattering.
Well, that
of
would probably require
some thought behind
because the way the production design is, you really never see the compound in its entirety.
No.
And the homes don't look like they match. Like,
no.
It just looks like we're in this big open field, and then, but we really don't see the expanse of the grounds. We just see the front or back of people's homes.
Well, also because stripper Dustin is expected to just leave, as Charles tells him, and order a car. But how the hell?
How would an Uber get here if I'm on a private road that's guard gated and you're not going to tell anyone?
Exactly.
But you're right. There's no attention to those details.
Doesn't make sense.
The private road is such a big part of the series, and none of it makes sense.
I mean, it should have been called Private Road.
Okay, then we cut back to Roy's ass has closed down the strip club, and he's in the VIP area
with these 3 ladies,
with these 3 women,
including Felicia.
Felicia being one, and we see him having sex with Felicia, hitting it from the back while she is smoking a cigarette. She is holding a cigarette.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. While he's tapping that ass.
Yep.
I just
not distressed at all about it either.
She's a professional.
Oh yeah.
And so for that,
gotta respect that.
Yeah, I commend her for her professionalism. Mm-hmm. But Roy, because he had been emasculated by his wife, saying that he can't perform, which is what caused him the last episode to go to the strip club to look for some tail. Mm-hmm. And he's very proud of himself this episode. He's like, I performed. Like,
Roy is back.
Roy is back.
Jackie's back.
Get your head in the game. And then this man is...
He tells the other 2 ladies who have no dialogue to wash his dick.
He says, you hoes wash my dick.
And Felicia says, go get the bucket of water.
And she literally brings back a bucket, like the kind of bucket your dad would wash the car with. Like, literally one of those kind of buckets with a rag. And then the bucket's filled with hot water, but then she brought a bottle of cold water. And then this poor lady starts washing Roy's penis, and he's like, it's hot. And Felicia starts like...
She slaps her.
So she's kind of showing that she's in control, and Roy likes that.
Mm-hmm.
And then you can tell that he's kind of into her. And then he tells her, open your mouth. You got some nice teeth. And she says,
I be going to the dentist.
I be going to the dentist.
Well, that's good, girl.
That is good.
So does Delinda's offers health insurance or?
Oh my God.
Anyway, but the way she sticks her tongue out.
But then she says something, and all of a sudden Roy gets mad again. He's like,
yeah,
he's like bipolar, roid ragey. I don't know what this man is.
Because he's asking about Kimmie, and then we're talking about Kimmie, how she got hooked up and rescued by some man, and he starts going off. She's like, "Oh, you know him?" And because it's like a Nora situation, right?
Yes.
And he just gets up and walks out.
Yeah, he gets mad that that Felicia knows Horace,
mm-hmm.
and then Yeah, I didn't quite understand why he got so mad, but
wow.
Anyway, he
goes skulking outside horses.
He leaves. So then Officer Alex is driving Rain back home after they done killed a couple people, well, several people, I think.
Mm-hmm. Well, at least 2.
And rescued an 18-year-old girl who had been sex trafficked.
Well, they gave her some money and sent her on her way. But
I think they gave her the money that she was going to use to pay for the ass shots, which, if I recall, didn't they say it was like, it's not that much.
Should be a sign right there.
So I don't think this girl's going to be able to start a new life with $800 or whatever that was, but okay. I still can't get over that they tell us her name is Adeline Gale Fortemont.
Well, she's like, they're going to come looking for me, and Rain asks for her government names, like, so that she can ask.
So she can get her off the list, and then the girl says it, and she goes, "Okay, got it."
Who's got the list? Who's in? Oh,
how are you going to remember that name?
I don't know.
I wrote it down. Okay, so Officer Alex is taking Rain back home, and then he's just sitting kind of like at the front of the house. And she's like, well, why aren't you opening the door? Well, you can't go in there because you're covered in blood. So why don't we go around back to my place? You can clean up.
That I just moved into.
Okay, I'm very confused. So
the same.
So do all of these men live on the compound?
No.
Also, Alex.
Well, wasn't he Roy's driver at the beginning of this season?
Right.
2? Why is he on Horse's property?
So did he leave the compound to go to his place?
I don't know.
Because when we go to his place, it looks quite nice. It doesn't look like he's in servants' quarters. It looks like he's in some like duplex in mid Wilshire. Like, I mean, it looks nice. And then he says, "Oh, I just moved in, fully decorated."
Well,
he even has artwork on the wall.
These 16-hour shifts he's working. I don't know
how in the world did he set this up. But then he's talking to Rain, and I'm predicting that they hook up because he seems to like her. Mm-hmm. But I do have to say, Rain needs to stop calling him a Japanigga. I can't keep hearing that, especially when he told these people he is black and Dutch.
I don't know.
Okay, probably the scene I'll remember the most is we see Roy's drunk high ass stumbling to his dad's house through the back. Mm-hmm. And he's peering at Kimmie through the window, who is sitting at a desk, and I think she's reading through that folder.
She's learning about the business. This is the Pretty Woman subplot going on.
She's making edits to the research and development section of the folder.
She's updating the
of
book.
The Grimmery. Mm-hmm. And when security catches Roy and says, "You can't be here. Your dad doesn't want you on the property." And Roy is trying to be Mr. Tough Guy, which we've already established. He's already been punked so many times. Your ass got thrown out of a hotel window. Like, you ain't gonna do shit.
Yeah.
And he's talking all big and tough. And then I think it's funny that for a minute we get those two kind of bickering at each other. Mm-hmm. When all of a sudden
Kimmie comes outside smoking a ciggy
and talking her shit. Mm-hmm. Again, she also seems like she's bipolar because has like a dissociative disorder, because one minute she's like meek and scared, and the next minute she's talking her big shit. Mm-hmm. But thankfully in this scene, she's on her big shit. She's confronting Roy, and he's talking shit about his own dad, saying, "I can't wait till he dies. I'm going to piss on his grave." And then the camera turns, and guess who's standing behind Roy?
There's Rico.
Horace.
Yep.
And he's like, "Oh, okay. So you're going to piss on my grave." And that's when extra security shows up. And Horace tells them to beat him up. Mm-hmm. So the security beats up Roy. And I know they were happy about it. Mm-hmm. And what does Horace do? Stand over his son and pee on him. And I thought that was pretty good.
But to me, I was like, oh, these poor security guys are also getting Horace's urine on them. But
you know what? If I were an employee and this asshole's about to get pissed on, I would tolerate a little pee on me because he deserved it. Okay. Then we find out that Horace has scheduled. This was also very confusing because, again, people, it is only the next day.
Yep.
This is the day after they got married.
This is the day after the season started. Yes.
That Horace has decided to go to Italy for this cancer treatment. Uh-huh. But he has also scheduled a mandatory board meeting so that Kimmie can introduce herself to the board.
Mm-hmm. And if everybody on the board, if they're not there, they pay a heavy fine.
Which I should say it now because I'm going to forget. If this were better written, I would have loved for the season to start with Kimmie, her first day in the office, having already gone through, like we could have had a montage of like a week or two of Horace teaching her the ropes. And then she walks in and knows all the games to play, and she just starts wrecking shop. But we are 6 episodes in, and nothing of the sort has occurred.
such thing.
But
not in Tyler Perry's lexicon.
No. But we have this mandatory meeting this morning. So Norman, Richard Lawson's character, goes to Debbie Morgan's house.
Olivia is still drinking.
Olivia? I don't think Olivia went to bed.
I don't think she did either.
Fully drunk.
Drinking like, red wine.
Red wine in the morning.
Girl.
I mean, maybe sangria, but not like a Pinot Noir.
And he's like, did you get the email? No.
And that looked like a 16-ounce pour. She had a lot of red wine in her hand. And yeah, he's like, we have to be there or you're going to be fined. And I know you need money. And then finally she's like, she admits she needs $1 million. For what?
I don't know. Gambling?
I mean, of course my mind went to gambling, but they don't say that.
No, I don't know what.
So I don't know what she needs it for. And then he says, well, is that why the church? And then that's all vague. And it's like, are we ever going to get any detail on anything?
It's
Probably
Tyler Perry.
not.
He's not good at details. He can't even keep the ones that he gives us straight.
Right. That's true. But here's the other thing. Why do they all keep acting like this airtight, ironclad will that they can't stop talking about how their granddaddy crafted it, but they keep acting like, oh, somehow we can change it. And at one point, Debbie Morgan's character is like, F that will. I don't care about that will. Half of Horace's money belongs to me.
I don't think so.
Ma'am, aren't you are these people not educated? Like, why is every concept like so hard for them to process?
Like, ma'am, Olivia, you're the side dish they threw away. Like,
you've been divorced from this man for a long time. You mean to tell me that in all these years it hasn't occurred to you that you ain't gonna get shit? Like, what is so hard about this? These people are screwed. Horace is the mastermind behind all of it.
Also, maybe being drunk out of your mind is not the way to combat this situation.
And also, yeah, being drunk is not like a peak performance condition to deal with this nonsense.
Right. But okay, you do you, girl.
Then we get back to Kimmie and Rain because Rain shows up like, having come into the house in the wee hours of the morning. So Kimmie's like, damn, you were out all night. Well, what happened? Nothing, girl. I was just at the club.
She doesn't say.
She doesn't say what she did, but Kimmie's like, I know you did something because you don't seem right. But then this scene, again, with the details and not being consistent, Rain tells her, well, you signed a prenup. Yeah. What? This is the first we've heard of a prenup. I thought the whole point was that there is no prenup.
Exactly.
So that she will take control of the business.
I don't know if that was a fuck up
That's in contrast to what we understood.
Exactly.
That doesn't make any sense.
Listen, they're at one of the inside tables having some OJ. Rain says she's going to go to bed. We have a scene with Angel, which you can get to. And Horace goes. And then all 4 of them are outside having more breakfast. So Rain doesn't go to bed.
Well, you got really ahead of me because
I had to say that because
well, yeah, it doesn't make sense. Well, okay, we're gonna get back to that because it does not make sense. But while Rain and Kimmie are talking before Rain gets up, and I took video of her ass because it does look deformed. Before she gets up, Kimmie explains to Rain about the board meeting, and she goes, "Yeah, Horace has been setting up all this shit for me to learn. It's only been one night.
And you almost ran away.
Horace gave you the notebook late last night, and now it's early in the morning. And Tyler Perry says he's been setting up all this shit for me to learn.
And you're in Indiana and have to go into the office in Chicago.
And you're having breakfast, and then we're going to see you have another breakfast.
Taking your sweet ass time. Okay.
But before Horace is set to leave, we get another scene with Mallory confronting Roy because she notices his clothes are covered in piss, and then she belittles him and tells him, like, you better show up at this meeting because once again, if you don't, you get fined.
She's a belittling Bellarie.
Then we come back to Horace's house and we see that perfect little angel looking out the window. And he looked so precious.
He's beaming.
It was very
Simple Jack.
Simple Jack. It was very.
You were gonna say that.
It was very Simple Jack. But he's he's so cute, but damn, he's so simple.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh. So it hit me because I keep talking about how Horace's home is decorated.
Mm-hmm.
And it hit me that there's an episode of Ab Fab. I think it's season 4, like the reboot back in 2000, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's in season 4 that Patsy and Eddie decide to go stay at this manor in the countryside to go horse riding because they heard Madonna goes there. So
funny how this is downloaded in your hard drive. So
yeah, that I remember that.
Mm-hmm.
But they spend some time at this horse riding manor, like bed and breakfast, thinking that they might bump into Madonna. And of course they don't. But that house that they're staying in is what Horace's home looks like.
Okay, sure.
Which I find funny because they just keep making a big deal about
they're gushing,
like how this luxury, like they can't believe they're living in this luxury when literally Horace has the least impressive house of everyone else.
Well, especially when there's some dialogue with Mallory in this episode where she goes on and on about how Horace likes old things.
Well,
anyway, that's getting ahead of where we are, but yes.
But Horace leaves to Italy.
Mm-hmm.
So he's having this board meeting, but he won't be there. And then he's telling Kimmie, well, first he tells Kimmie, like, did you get Sylvie into college? No, we talked about that last night.
I'm doing that today. Right
before you handed me the Grimoire. So how did I get her enrolled into college at like midnight? Like what? Again, it's like,
you know, the line that we didn't from episode 5 that we didn't go over is he says she has to get Sylvie out of there because what is this? You keep who you kill and want. Is that line?
Yes, because it made no sense to me. You keep who you kill and want.
What does that mean?
What does that mean?
You keep who you kill, but you're not keeping them if you kill them. What does that mean? Going back to his dialogue specifically, I forgot to mention back in episode 3, he says, I'm going to be evil until the day I die. Anyhow.
So we'll get to the final scene.
Uh-huh.
But like you already mentioned, Kimmie, Sylvie, Rain, and Angel are sitting outside having her second breakfast. And the butler, I'm going to just call him the Microsoft Office paperclip. Because do we even know his name?
James, I think.
Oh, is it James? Sorry, James.
James. How about that?
He comes out and says, Mrs. Bellari's here to see you.
I'm Mrs. Bellarie.
I'm Mrs. Bellarie.
We know, okay, girl.
And then he's like, Mallory.
Mallory Bellarie.
Well, should I let her in? Yeah, let her come on out. So Mallory comes out to the breakfast.
With some flowers. You know, they're on the same private road. Where'd she get these flowers?
Where did she get these GD flowers from? Does she just keep bouquets?
Did she make her poor new driver drive
down to the Kroger and get her...
and then come back down the private road?
Is there Kroger in Indiana?
On the private road?
What is the grocery store chain in Indiana?
Safeway. What do they got over there? Albertsons?
Kroger and Major? What's Major? What's that? Oh, that's from a MST3K.
Major for Major.
Yeah, Major
that's
for Major.
The thing that wouldn't die. The Strom Thurmond story. Yeah.
Major. What the hell is...
Anyway.
I know there's someone out there that knows, or who knows, Major Oh, yeah. Oh, and it has like a weird font, like it looks German or something. What is this?
Well, I don't know. She went and got them flowers to brown-nosed Kimmie. I don't know why.
They have 259 stores in Michigan, Illinois, Indiana, Kentucky, Ohio, and Wisconsin. Wow. It's the 14th largest private company in the United States.
There's a high percentage I might never be at one.
Wow. Major.
It's Major, but not for me.
I mean, it's a cute little font.
You got to have more than
I'm looking at pictures of the store. I mean, it's...
Don't judge a picture on the size of its font.
I got so sidetracked. Okay.
Anyway,
so Mallory comes to see Kimmie.
Yeah.
And she's just belittling her.
This is the side of shade.
Covertly by basically... I thought there was some colorism in there too, because she's like, Well, I know he likes old things.
That's what she's doing in her not so subtle ways because she likes old dark things.
Well,
like,
she's saying old used things. So like Kimmie being like a whore, and then like black things. And then she looks at Rain, who's
because Mallory's high yellow, I guess.
Yeah, and Rain has darker skin. I thought that was really odd. I didn't expect that to come. Well, I don't know. Mallory's.
Well, I don't know what the point of that. Like, are you going to ruffle her feathers?
Well, I don't know if she thought she was going to intimidate her before the meeting, or was trying to? Because I assumed she was trying to get on her good side.
But whatever.
But that didn't work.
She's not doing a good job with the shade or getting on her good side.
And then of course, Angel's like, she is so beautiful.
And then Sylvie's saying she's nice because Sylvie's dumb as hell.
Because
I don't think you can get Sylvie into a college. Not if she has to test first.
I don't know how she tested out of high school.
I don't.
Although she's the one who knows like that they're using the wrong forks. So I mean, she must know something.
What's that school where you go teach little young girls how to act right? What's that called?
Not etiquette.
Is it?
Yeah. What's the
tourniquet?
What's the school?
What's that shit called? God. Once you say it, I'll know it. Does it have 2 L's in it?
I'm looking it up now. Finishing school.
No, there's another
charm
word.
school.
There's another word I'm thinking of.
Oh. Oh yes, there's another word.
Why am I thinking of cotillion?
Someone's screaming right now. Like
I've been drinking. Oh, cotillion's a formal ball. Anyway, do go forward. I think Sylvie seems.
I think it's either finishing school, etiquette school, charm school.
Maybe it's charm
cotillion.
It is cotillion. Yeah, etiquette classes. Yeah, see?
Yeah, cotillion is often used for programs teaching social skills, etiquette, and sometimes dance.
They get those young stuck-up bitches ready for their deb ball, you know?
Yes, anyway. Basically. But, okay, we got off track. So Mallory leaves, I mean, I guess technically now it's Kimmie's house, and goes out to her driver, and it's this driver's first day. And she is so rude to him. I'm assuming it was inflamed by the fact that Kimmie kind of got her ass together. Mm-hmm. But she is so mean to this man. She smells him. Well, first she's like, because he asked her, like, where are we going? And she's like, you don't know my schedule? You're my driver and you don't know my schedule? Ugh. It's your first day. Did you look at my face? Does it look like I care? Blah, blah, blah. And then she smells him, which is something that she did to poor Julian.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But she goes, why would they send me some man who smells like spices and berries? And
what do you want me to
What do you want him to smell like?
I mean, she's been entertaining this season, but if I was that man, I would be calculating how I could wrap that car around a tree without killing myself.
She tells him you need to roll down both front windows and stick your head out while you drive. So you want to drive all the way to Chicago from Indiana with the windows down? So that your hair can get all tousled and crazy, bitch. What is wrong with you?
It's so nonsensical. It's just bad writing.
Okay, the final scene is stupid ass Charles asleep. It's morning. The stripper spent the night, and I am so confused with the sequence of or the course of action because the stripper wakes Charles up.
Yep, don't know why. Because immediately Charles is like, "Leave."
Immediately, Charles tells the stripper, "You need to get out of here."
And the stripper says, go back to bed. I'm going to hang out over here.
And then Charles dumbass just goes back to bed. So he's like dancing around the house. Being loud. He grabs like a bottle of brown liquor and then all of a sudden Attorney Varney pops up and confronts him and says, get out the house. They start arguing. He drags the man back into the bedroom to get his clothes. And Charles, to be an asshole, tells the stripper he can stay because Varney told him to leave. So then stupid ass Attorney Varney is like, I don't know why I try with you. Girl, none of us know. All of us are screaming at the screen.
Why would this man?
Why are you wasting your time with Charles? Let him die or steal his money. Both would be easy to do.
Yep.
To say that you're in love with him makes you seem mentally ill.
A fool. A big old fool.
So Attorney Varney leaves and Charles tells the stripper, you need to go. And then the stripper very easily convinces Charles to stay by whipping out his phallus.
Uh-huh.
So they go back to bed. Charles goes sound asleep. The stripper gets up, gets dressed. The delivery truck comes. 3 guys, including that new officer, come out.
I'm so confused why they thought this was the best. Because Dustin can't go back to work now unless they're going to kill this man.
You're going to... Well,
you can't even do that. There's another witness. Like, what? You can't... What?
Okay. first of all, is Dustin an indentured servant?
I guess not.
I guess not, because I guess he's okay not to go back to work. I don't know how much money you think you're going to get to now, like the block is going to be hot if you rob this man. And then, to be fair, the staff doesn't know that Charles is a Bellarie because they knew Roy and they knew Horace.
I guess not.
But I guess because they don't think Charles is a Bellarie, which is so crazy to me. It's 2025. This guy pulls up in a green Lamborghini that one of your dancers already stole, crashed, and was killed. And now he shows up again in an expensive car, spending money, buying dances. No one looked him up. No one looked him up to see who is this guy.
I don't know.
I feel like that would be the first thing I would do. But either way,
the policies at Delinda's, I don't think are...
The delivery truck shows up, the three guys get out, but the new officer says, I'm going to stay back in the van to be the lookout. So these two guys in masks, who we don't even know who they are, go in with the stripper, and they proceed to rob Charles when he comes out of the bedroom. And they confront him. And unfortunately for them, that little homosexual can fight. So he is holding his own. And then, of course, I do have to say, good for Charles. Like, Charles needs to know how to fight the way he acts.
Right.
And then apparently he has guns stashed around the house because he grabs a gun and shoots and kills. Well, we don't know if they're dead, but he shoots.
He unloads the weapon.
Well, no one Tyler Perry. We just saw Angel get shot up. And
no, we saw a man step in front of him.
We saw a man step in front of him while someone with a machine gun. So, I mean,
I don't know.
He doesn't even have a scratch on him.
I don't know. But the three of them die, Stripper, Dusty, and two of the heavies. And
yeah. Wouldn't a machine gun bullet go through a body to hit the next person?
I mean, I would think that.
Maybe it wouldn't like fully penetrate.
I'm not a bullet. I don't know.
But anyway, yeah, Charles kills the three guys who broke in. So now that officer is sitting in the delivery truck like an idiot.
I'm assuming he'll be leaving, but anyway.
Right. The end.
God.
Anything else about episode 6?
No.
Ta-ta. I'm Joseph.
And I'm Nick.
We watched episode 7 of Beauty in Black, season 2. This episode's called Gloves Off. Fireworks ignite at the office as Kimmie shows the Bellaries who's boss. A rugged ranch hand welcomes Sylvie to the stables. Jules smells a rat. This episode was crazy. So, as we know, Charles gay ass killed the intruders.
Mm-hmm.
So now he's calling for help. First, he calls Attorney Varney, who doesn't pick up the phone.
Finally, a wise decision from Attorney Varney.
Finally.
Jesus.
Then he calls his brother Roy, and Roy's not picking up the phone. Primarily because Roy is on the phone with Felicia, who he had left several messages for overnight after they had hooked up, and finally gets her on the phone. And it's clear that he's really into her.
Mm-hmm.
And then we see that Officer Traxon is in bed with Felicia, like literally and figuratively.
Oh.
And they're staying at the Say Something Hat Day Motel. And they hear a commotion. And Officer Traxon gets a phone call from someone named Carmine, who I guess is like someone on the police force. So he is actively working for Chicago PD. And this person says, like, yeah, there's a double homicide. God, I cannot speak. It's been a long day.
It's been a long day with Tyler Perry. Help us. Oh, my God.
This person on the phone who apparently works for, like, homicide tells Officer Traxon, yeah, there's a double homicide in the room a couple doors down from you. So they know that he's in this motel with a stripper. I'm very confused by that. So first, we get Horace on his private jet to Italy calling Angel.
Making all kinds of calls, actually, but yeah.
And Angel's like, you're on a plane? You can make a phone call on a plane?
Oh, simple.
But I thought it was funny. The way Horace is talking to Angel reminded me of those text messages Derek Dixon shared from Tyler Perry.
Yeah.
Like, oh.
Oh, yeah, because he's playing mind games.
Oh, so you're not concerned about me? And
you didn't ask about me?
You didn't ask about me?
All the things I've given you haven't asked about me?
Yeah. Then Horace calls Kimmie, asking her, like, are you ready? Trying to get her amped up. But, basically reminding her, like,
he's calling from an unknown number. Like, why?
Well, he likes to keep things secure.
Oh, no.
But he's amping her up by basically saying, like, remember what these people did to you, Roy and Jules, and you need to go in there and wreck shop. And Kimmie says, you want the real Kimmie to walk in there?
Yeah, will she please Will she please stand up? I haven't met her yet.
Who's the real Kimmie? Eeyore? You want Eeyore to walk in?
Yeah, the real Kimmie is dystymic.
And after she says that, then we get her right back to being insecure Kimmie.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't know. I guess I'm going to do... Like, what's wrong with you? Okay, then...
I mean, Kimmie's she's in the sunken place. For sure.
She is. Jules shows up to the... What's the name of the motel?
You Can Stay Here motel. Well, thank you.
You could stay here if you want to.
If you have cash, You Can Stay Here motel.
He shows up there and Officer Traxon is there and they're talking about what happened, and Jules is sort of sensing that maybe like Rain and Officer Alex are involved, but Officer Traxon is trying to convince him that Alex is not like that.
He's my guy. He would never do that. But literally, you've shot and beat up people before, but okay.
Right.
Sure.
But at the end of their little conversation, Jules says, okay, I have to go to the office. Which one?
The police?
The
office?
Police station?
Like, what office?
The strip club?
When are you doing police work?
Bellarie headquarters?
I don't know.
Where? Or your home office where you have your wife and kids.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, speaking of kids, we find out that Jules has a son who works at the Bellarie's horse stable. They have a full-time person working at this
Glenn.
The homes, except for the gay brother Charles, who we kind of see the most of his home, and it does kind of look cute, except that we see someone driving away from the home, and that home looks like it's on a regular block.
Uh-huh.
It just doesn't look right.
You mean it doesn't look like a private road?
No. But we find out that Jules' son works in the stables, and Sylvie ends up meeting him, which we're going to get back to because that's the end of the episode, which is the insane. Mm-hmm. But we see that Norman and Olivia, Richard Lawson and Debbie Morgan, show up to the office first for this mandatory board meeting, and they're talking. And basically, Norman is saying that he's not worried about all this and that he has plans, and
sure.
All of it was vague and stupid. The only thing of note from that scene is that Olivia mentions the class action lawsuit.
For the first time this season.
Well, not just this season. We're in episode 7.
Whatever happened to that lawyer that Roy was trying to get?
But I don't think we heard about the lawsuit in the final 2 episodes of the last season, if I'm recalling correctly.
I don't know, but
this major class action lawsuit that they want billions in damages.
Yeah, and there was the small flurry of protesters, and remember the lawyer that Roy was trying to hit on? That was
I mean, granted, it's only been a couple days, but like,
well, I mean, that's the other thing.
In the Beauty and Black timeline, not much time has passed, but at minimum, 7 episodes have passed, and we have not heard about the class action lawsuit, which was such a big part of season 1 in the beginning. So that's really odd to me. But yeah, Olivia mentions it, and more so as like an insult towards Norman more than anything. And then also during this meeting, Norman, I was very confused. Maybe you can explain. was Norman insinuating that Horace was having a relationship with Angel?
Yes. He thought it was, in retrospect, now that Angel has come under protection, this was also the young man. Well, no, that he thinks Angel is dead and was shot and killed this morning per Horace's beckoning. But he recalls the incident where he accused Angel of stealing his watch and thought that was suspicious.
Right. So I got the sense that Norman has something up his sleeve.
Well, because he's telling Debbie Morgan that, he likes this Latin man. She's like, well, he always liked Latin women. He's like, no, this is a man.
That's
Okay.
right. Yeah. So, but he also, didn't he make a comment that was something to the effect of like that could affect the will or did I mishear that? Either way, clearly Norman is sort of sniffing what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
Then we get Roy and Jules at the office talking. And Roy's crazy ass is telling Jules he wants Felicia to work at Beauty and Black as his assistant.
Mm-hmm.
And Jules is saying like, that's not possible.
Jules is like, she can't count.
She can't even count.
And you know what? I might believe it.
But then Roy implies, well, he doesn't imply, he says that he has a 12-inch penis.
Okay.
So imagine having a 12-inch penis you can't get erect.
Well,
it apparently is curved. So does it look like a boomerang? I mean, what are we talking about?
Takes more
here?
blood flow. I don't
like
know.
It doesn't even make sense.
Roy, I have doubts.
Then we see Angel getting to choose a car to drive and getting his credit card so he can go shopping. And then the head of, I guess, the house security. They have all of this security, and yet someone was able to get into the property to rob Charles. But anyway, it's clear that head of security, whose name is Whitman,
mm-hmm.
he thinks something's odd about Angel and the relationship he has with Horace. So that's kind of an interesting scene. And Angel's being, I guess Angel's acting how you would expect. Like he's all excited that he gets to drive whatever car he wants and he gets to go shopping with this credit card.
Mm-hmm.
It also bothers me that they keep calling the butler the N-word. And finally the butler says, I really would prefer you call me James. And Angel calls him N-word James. That really bothered me.
But what did I say? I'm like, that man doesn't want to be called that.
That really bothered me. Okay, so now everyone is convening to Beauty and Black headquarters to meet their new COO, Kimmie, Bellarie.
Mm-hmm.
And we get a scene with Mallory walking in. I thought she was dressed like Judge Dredd from Who Framed Roger Rabbit. Yeah, she looks fabulous.
Oh, she looks like a fabulous villain, yeah.
But she walks in like she's on a catwalk, and we get this music that sounds like photographers taking pictures of her. That was really odd.
Yes.
And then
Jules.
She's talking to Attorney Varney, and they're kind of kikiing now that they're like, good Judies.
Mm-hmm.
And he's teasing her because she says, do you know that bitch went shopping and she spent $124,000 on 5 suits? I bet they're not even, I bet they don't even go together. And then Attorney Varney's kind of mocking her like, well, when you did it, you would have at least got 6 suits for that price.
Mm-hmm.
But did you notice that Mallory in these gloves?
Yeah, I'm like,
she took them off, then she put them back on. And then
are you doing that because you don't want to touch the poor people, or?
It's really weird. Then we get a scene back at the house where Butler James is fluffing the pillows. And one of those pillows he fluffed had so much dust on
that would get my allergies up. Mm-mm.
But the episode ends with a bang because we know that when Kimmie left to go to work, Sylvie said, I want to go for a walk to the horse stables. And Rain was like, you can't do that. You need to stay in the house. But she won't listen. And Angel says, well, I'll go and watch her. So when Rain wakes up from her little nap, she asks the butler, where is Sylvie? Oh, she's in the horse stables with the stable guy.
Glenn. You forgot to mention, though, before you get to this ending, that Attorney Varney had a line in the last episode.
Oh, you're right. He had told Charles, you need to get into the office to meet your new mother-in-law. But Kimmie is not his mother-in-law. She's his stepmother.
Yes.
which of course, whatever. I also forgot to mention when Kimmie's on her way to the office, Horace calls her from the plane.
Again, to tell her something more about Mallory.
And she's like, well, are you there yet? And he says, no, I'm about to land in an hour.
No.
But from Chicago or from Indiana to Italy, wouldn't that be at least 8 hours nonstop?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But he left this morning and it's still morning.
It's still morning.
Like the business day is starting.
He is not an hour away. No.
I thought that was weird.
Well, that's just, again, bad writing. Devil not in the details.
But getting back to Sylvie and the horse stable guy, Rain panics, which I was a little unclear why she would be so scared about Sylvie walking around
being
the compound
alone on the private road
with all this security, and they've already been told they can't leave to
what
go
does
anywhere.
She think is going to happen?
Well, she goes to look for Sylvie, and she hears moaning, like sexual sounds. And turns out that Glenn, the horse stable guy, is hunching up on Sylvie. And I don't know if I mentioned, but Glenn is Jules' son.
Yep.
Rain doesn't know that, but Sylvie does. So she breaks up
violently breaks up the
and takes a
pitchfork
and pushes the Glenn out of the window. So he falls to what I would presume is his death.
Oh yeah, we see his head all bloody.
The end. This is crazy. I don't think we needed that.
I don't know why.
Well, because you know what it's going to do? It's going to inflame Jules.
Well, of course it is.
Because he already hates Rain and Kimmie, and now Rain just killed his son.
But it's like, why did you do that? Like, clearly, and she's, Sylvie's 18.
Why is Sylvie 18?
Oh, I don't know. I thought she was 18.
Well, she acts like she's 12, but she looks
that's
30. I don't know.
That's a lot of people, actually.
I don't know why Jules has his son working for the Bellaries. Isn't he making money hand over fist?
I don't know. Maybe that child needs something to do.
God, that seems like such a poor decision to have your kid
stationed at horses.
Right, like wrapped up in all this bullshit.
Would Horace want him there? I don't know.
So the next episode is the final episode of part 1. As we know from season 1, the ending of part 1, nothing will be wrapped up because we're only halfway through. But I am looking forward to the next episode because I'm assuming we're going to get the bulk of the board meeting.
Yes.
Because Kimmie doesn't want to start the board meeting yet. She wants to see her office first, and she insists Roy show it to her. So I'm assuming they're going to have a moment. She also kind of goes toe-to-toe with Mallory and shuts her up. So I think I'm hoping that finally in episode 8, we get to see Kimmie be a badass.
She's going to have to do something, because if she starts off on the wrong foot, she's never going to recover.
Well, I think she already kind of put Mallory in her place.
Mallory's like, I'm glad you could join us. She's like, join you. I'm here to lead you.
I'm here to lead you. And then Mallory, because I guess like the leadership team of Beauty and Black is there. So there are like 20 people there to greet Kimmie. And Mallory introduces her as Kimmie. And Kimmie interrupts her and says, my name is Kimmie, but you all can address me as Mrs. Bellarie. So, she's already gotten off on a good foot. So I hope that continues. Do you have anything else?
No.
Ta-ta. I'm Joseph.
And I'm Nick.
We watched episode 8 of Beauty and Black season 2, now streaming on Netflix.
Woo!
We made it.
Oh my goodness.
This episode is called Hold the Pleasantries. The boardroom becomes a battlefield as Kimmie and the family face off. Charles and Rain make impulsive decisions with dangerous consequences. This feels bittersweet for a couple of reasons. One, I feel like every time we watch a Tyler Perry film and talk about it, or a show, we've trauma bonded. But also, this final episode of part 1 of season 2, imagine if this would have been episode 1.
Yes. Well, I was trying to think because we literally just finished it, but I suppose there is an argument for watching Kimmie suffer so brutally for so long, and to finally lead up to this moment. But I feel like there could have been a more concise way to do that and have the same feeling.
I was thinking the same thing, that we did need, in part, to witness her suffering.
Because that's why revenge feels so delicious.
Yes. So this is what I wanted this episode.
And I'm not going to lie, but I'm actually looking forward to part 2 of season 2 now.
Same. So you know what, Tyler girl, you got me, because
I don't know. I mean,
it took 5 hours to get me, but I got there.
But wow.
Yeah, this episode is insane. And the ending is, I was not expecting that.
No, and finally, Taylor Polidore Williams, beautiful, and is giving me what I needed finally.
Kimmie is finally, yes.
Yeah, like Jesus.
Yeah. Beautiful, confident.
The dialogue is still not up to par, I would argue, but that is like, that's why she's cast in this role. But how many episodes is this? 16 technically?
There will be 16 in season 2, so we've watched 24.
So we have 24 episodes to get to her getting something to do.
Yeah. Well, so the episode, we know last one ended with Rain killing the horse stable guy, Glenn, who is Jules' son. And
they replayed that scene at the beginning of this episode. It's like, girl, why are you so dumb? Why'd you do that?
Well, first of all, the reason you ran up there is because you heard Sylvie moaning. And you are a sex worker, so you should understand sex sounds. Those were not the sounds of someone who was being assaulted.
Those were sounds of pleasure, okay?
So
ascertain if it was fake pleasure before you hit him with a pitchfork.
So the beginning of this one, of course, Sylvie's like, why did you do that? Well, he was raping you. And she says, he wasn't raping me. And the look on Rain's face is like, damn.
And then Sylvie runs away.
Sylvie fully runs away. Well, they go downstairs, see the body, see that it's bad. And then Sylvie just says, I can't deal with this, and runs away.
Girl.
So the first person Rain calls is Angel's dumbass.
Mm-hmm.
But he doesn't pick up.
He's out shopping.
Because he's out shopping.
Well, actually, first he sees his...
we'll get to that.
We need to talk about dumb Yolanda.
Yes. So what does Rain do? Drag the body.
There's a ton of blood.
But there's so much blood, she makes this huge trail, like a snail trail of blood.
Apparently, Glenn's the only stable worker.
Wow. Then we visit Horace in Italy. And I think it's so funny. First of all, the exterior of Horace entering the Italian clinic, I don't know where they shot that. They might have just built a little set at TP Studios. And then when they get inside, it reminded me of Hostel X. Like when it looks real makeshift in there. Mm-hmm. But for as terrible as a writer Tyler Perry is, and with the lack of detail or attention to detail in everything he does, I find it really interesting that he did make Horace and the staff at this clinic speak Italian.
Yeah, Rico learned a little bit of some makeshift Italian.
Doesn't that seem like more than you would expect from Tyler Perry?
Especially when you only have probably 20 minutes to shoot that scene. So
yeah, I'm very surprised he went to the trouble of having everyone speak Italian, including Horace.
Rico, you want to keep this role? You're speaking Italian.
So then we get a scene with Rain calling Officer Alex. And I actually kind of thought that was a fun scene because she's panicking on the phone, but Officer Alex is at Beauty and Black headquarters standing next to Officer Traxon. So he has to speak in code. Mm-hmm. And I kind of thought for Tyler Perry, that wasn't
bad. And then
that was pretty clever.
She's like, I need to talk to Kimmie. And he's like, no, not now.
Not now.
It's like Rain talking to Kimmie is triggering. So yeah. I guess they need somebody to run interference between them.
And then when he says, who was it? Who did you kill? This guy. And he goes, oh, that's his son. Who? Horace's? And he goes, no, jewelry. And then Rain realizes, oh my God, I killed Jules' son.
Oh, who goes to Berkeley.
Okay. Then we cut to Angel, who goes to Yolanda, his raggedy baby mama's apartment. And this poor lady, I didn't look her up, but her acting is not where it needs to be.
Oh, it's bad.
But he knocks on the door and she's like, who is it?
Felicia Lloyd.
And he says, Angel. And she goes, no, it's not. He's like, stop playing. It's Angel. Open the door. Oh my God. She
is, I mean, everybody's rude in this series, but she is so rude.
She's out of control. The first thing I noticed is we see Angel sitting on the couch and he is wearing a new outfit. And I just thought, this is the outfit he bought with an unlimited.
He needs to get that hair done.
Well, you know what I wish he would have done? I don't hate his hair, but I think they could have made him look very debonair and suave.
He looks like a bad kid.
Yes. Yeah. He looks like a teenager.
He looks like a troubled teenager, yes.
I really wish they would have tightened up his haircut and maybe put him in like a tailored Italian suit.
Mm-hmm.
Because Horace went to the trouble of arranging Kimmie's wardrobe.
Mm-hmm.
What if it were me, and my little snacky snack is, I'm tricking on this man, I would have totally had him in clothes that I would have liked him in.
Yeah.
Well, I would have ordered him little swimsuits and little like fitted suits. And
Horace had to make an emergency break for Italy to have the cancer sucked
That's
out,
true. But he seems to have all the time to do everything else. I don't know why he couldn't throw that in there.
Well, right. Yeah.
But instead, we see Angel in this like puffy jean tuxedo that was giving me like late 90s cross colors, like FUBU. I don't know what that
I
man
had
FUBU. On. Oh God, it was for us bias.
Yeah, I know that, but I didn't know what that meant as a
But
teenager.
then Yolanda is mad. Like, I'm tired of messing with you. You were so scared when you came over to my house, and now you're acting like everything's great. Where'd you get this money? Because he tries to give her money and she won't take it. And then she goes, well, since the last time you came by, I bought a gun. Ma'am, the last time he came by was what? This afternoon?
Mm-hmm.
Isn't this the same day?
Yep.
Well,
it's not legal, Yolanda.
Or, the timeline is murky, but it's certainly not more than 24 hours. So in that time, you went to go buy a gun.
Little did you know, this is an Easter egg that puts this in the same universe as Selena.
And she, oh God. And she has that gun just sitting on the kitchen table.
Well, she has it in some little thing, yeah.
Okay. So we know that Horace told Kimmie that when you get there for your board meeting at the headquarters, you need to keep everyone waiting because it drives them crazy. So she rolls up, and we already saw her being introduced, and she had told Roy to show her to her office. So we get this standoff with Kimmie and Roy that I thought just felt really long and pointless.
And that spins it weird. That does spin its wheels.
Yeah, that would definitely be how I would describe that scene.
But then Mallory decides to walk in. Mallory, who my one note actually was, who's walking around with that in that witch hat. I'm like, this is not an inside hat.
No, but she does look good.
She looks good, but it's not for the inside.
No, it's not for the inside. And then we meet.
But Mallory walks in and she's like, did I tell you could come in?
And Kimmie is telling her like, basically like, get the F out.
Mm-hmm.
But before that, we meet one of Kimmie's assistants, this lady named Marcy. That poor lady looks so dry.
She looked very dry, poor thing.
And she said, may I take your coat and purse? And Kimmie says yes. And she just grabs her purse and looks real sour. Or she grabs her coat looking real sour and just walks out. Doesn't take her purse.
Well, she needed to go look in the mirror and put on a new lip color.
But then after Mallory leaves, then Olivia comes in.
Olivia's hot.
Olivia's hot because she's been kept waiting. And Olivia and Kimmie have a little standoff, which I thought was more eventful.
Yes, it was, because Olivia plays right into Kimmie's hands.
Yeah, because at first I'm like, she's not going to have a comeback for her. But then when Olivia finally runs out of steam, Kimmie says, thank you for that. My husband spent hours telling me all about you people. And you did exactly what he said you would do. So I've been playing a game, and you succeeded in doing everything I thought you would do.
You're also predictable.
And that seems to get under Olivia's skin.
Uh-huh.
We also see that, or we have to remember
Horace was married to her.
That's right. Yeah, so he knows her. But we have to remember the last episode ended with the gay brother Charles killing 3 people in his house.
Yeah, that's in the background. Mm-hmm.
So he calls Varney for help.
Varney does not pick. Varney's done, which he should have been done a long time ago.
So he comes into the office for this meeting and he's mad at Varney. Then you have Norman picking on Charles.
Mm-hmm.
You also have Olivia being very homophobic. It was all just really weird. You hear Charles tell Norman, like, don't F with me. I'm not in the mood. And Norman is like, well, that's not what the men say. And also unnecessary.
Well, yeah.
Also, what is the fine if they don't show up to these meetings?
Because they seem desperate not to pay it.
They act like it will be ruinous if they don't show up to this board meeting.
Please tell me how much that.
How much is this fine? Oh, I have to say, someone commented from the last episode that the name of that grocery store chain that I was saying major, it's actually Meijer.
Oh, how is it spelled? I was
Meijer.
Oh, okay. There we go.
So it's called Meijer.
Okay.
So I hope to one day visit a Meijer. They said it's kind of like a Walmart.
The way you were saying it, I was thinking Lee Majors.
So we had already been told that Horace is going to watch Kimmie because he has cameras set up in the boardroom. And initially, he has Kimmie put in like earbuds so he can communicate with her. But then she gets going and realizes that she doesn't need him because she is concerned that the family will see her with the earbuds and not trust in her abilities. Mm-hmm. And I have to say, the scene with her, the writing is very limited. It's clear that
yes,
Tyler Perry or whomever helped him write this, their knowledge of how this type of company runs and trying to explain the financials and the loss and profit and interest rates and how the vendors are going to be this % cheaper and they'll be out of debt within 5 years if we do this.
Imagine that dialogue brushed up by an Aaron Sorkin or something.
Right.
So it's like razor sharp, or David Mamet before he went crazy.
Yeah, I mean, it's like a butter knife, but Kimmie does do a good job delivering these very remedial. I mean, it's like if you asked ChatGPT to explain business talk to a second grader or
basically,
something.
Yeah.
But she explains, well, first off, attorney Varney brings up the lawsuit. And so Kimmie says she wants to meet with the lawyer in charge and some of the victims. Mm-hmm. So that's news. Then Kimmie brings up these shell companies.
Both Norman and Olivia.
And they panic because clearly they are companies that Norman and Olivia are extracting money from. I want to get back to the financials, though, because the numbers Kimmie gives seem real low.
Yeah.
Because she's saying we're we're 7 million something and we can earn 22 million profit. And if we decrease costs by 34% in 5 years, we'll be out of debt. But I don't know. The company must be valued at, I keep saying $1 billion company because we hear that we got a number once that would indicate that Charles, the gay brother, his shares are worth 80 million.
Right.
So if his shares are worth 80 million and all these people have a piece of the pie, and I'm assuming that Norman,
I would assume has
more, and that Horace has the most, that it has to be worth hundreds of millions, if not $1 billion.
Well, what is so kooky about this is that she makes a statement that they have no online presence.
Okay. So let's get to that in a second. But I have to reiterate that the numbers she threw out sounded like the numbers for a company that is not as big as Beauty and Black seems.
Yeah.
So that was kind of weak. Then she immediately says that we have no online presence. I don't know how that's possible.
Well, and so I'm also curious. No one else is on the board but this family.
Yeah, who there isn't a VP of
there are no outsiders.
Global marketing. There's no who's the creative director. I don't understand how this company's running. But then she pulls up one ad and she goes, "This ad is out of date." I would think a company this large has many.
Well, yeah.
Many ads, but she just says this ad, and then
Mallory's like, "I just got done doing that. It's classic."
Then she goes on about how we're wasting money on a Black radio station and a funeral home, like running ads through them,
like millions of dollars.
They're spending millions of dollars placing ads at a funeral home.
And Olivia's like, "Wait, that." Olivia goes, "That funeral home buries Black people." It's 2025 in Chicago.
None of the numbers or the prospects that they bring up make any damn sense in relation to what this business seems like.
Right.
So there's a class action lawsuit in the billions.
But the best part of that is Olivia's huffing and puffing, and Kimmie stops her and she says, Olivia, and W. Moore goes, it's Miss Olivia. And she kind of chuckles.
Scoffs at her.
She goes, Olivia.
She's like, okay, Olivia.
I was like, oh yeah, that shit feels good.
So I have to say, Kimmie did get these people together.
Uh-huh.
And that's what we were waiting for.
Mm-hmm.
So it was satisfying, as remedial as it was, but I was enjoying it.
Uh-huh.
So after the meeting, she had told Jules before the meeting started, when I'm done, you need to see me in my office. Mm-hmm. So he goes back there with her and he calls her Kimmie, and she's slapping him
3 times.
She slaps him 3 times until he realizes he needs to refer to her as Mrs. Bellarie.
3 times the cock crowed.
And I thought they had a good exchange.
Uh-huh.
Because initially it seems like Jules has her by the balls, as he's saying.
Mm-hmm.
And then Kimmie just kind of laughs at him and makes a phone call and calls his wife. And I thought that was kind of fun because she knows that if the wife finds out what he's up to, he is in trouble. I also think it's funny that someone like Jules would say that nothing means more to him than his children. You are sex trafficking other people's children. You are allowing other people's children to be raped and murdered.
Well, this is what happens. People dehumanize.
Can you imagine how mentally ill you must be? How demonic you must be? I don't really believe in demons, but
look at the way the world is. People dehumanize everybody. That's
how sick you must be. Yeah, how sick you must be to allow these kind of things to happen to other people's children, and then have the audacity to tell someone that nothing means more to you than your own children, and you'll do anything to protect them.
Uh-huh.
That's why I think there's no such thing as heaven or hell, because if there were hell, all y'all who act like that are going. Like, it just...
Well, if there were, somebody needs to be giving little warning signs like, hey, you might want to stop doing that.
You're going to hell. You're surely going to hell.
Hell telegram.
All y'all talk about heaven so much, but you probably are going to hell. But yeah, then... Again, with the gay shit, Olivia basically blackmails Varney, saying because Kimmie says, I want you to look into these shell corporations. And after she leaves the office, Olivia says, he's not going to look into them because I know something he doesn't want anyone to know. And Norman says, well, what is it? Well, I'm not going to tell you.
Well, who cares that he's gay? They can't fire attorney Varney. Also, Horace strategically has other lawyers that could look into the LLCs.
And why is Varney so scared? He has other clients. He's clearly doing very well.
And now that he's turned his back on Charles, I'd be like, fire me.
Please let me go.
Go ahead.
Please let me go. The best line in the episode, though, is... Kimmie to Jules, because he's getting feisty with her. She goes, do I need to slap the shit out of you again?
Well, because he calls her Kimmie. Yeah.
So then we cut back to Horace because Kimmie calls him to see how he's doing. Mm-hmm. And I thought, this whole treatment thing reminds me of that series I watched, Apple Cider Vinegar.
Because he's like, I don't know if I'm feeling all these natural herbs, and
he's like, I don't know if the treatment's working or I'm just feeling these natural herbs and shit. But
he's gonna come out cancer clean.
But it's clear that he's proud of her because he was listening to her in the boardroom. Mm-hmm. But she's talking to him while she's being driven by Officer Alex, and he is ear hustling so hard.
Yeah, something tells me though that he sees a way out of his own. A light at the end of his own tunnel.
I think he sees Kimmie as his savior. Yeah. So and then we're going to see in a minute that he, is still trying to build trust with them. But we cut back to Rain's crazy ass back at the horse stable, and we see this bitch stepping all in the blood.
Probably because it's CGI.
But it's CGI blood, so it's not tracking. But she can't see it.
But we were howling at the screen like, girl!
You literally see her stepping in the blood. But Officer Alex shows up and he's like, bitch, he is not dead. Glenn is not dead.
That reminded me of John Leguizamo in Tuong Fu when they all think Chris Penn is dead.
Yeah, he's not dead.
Dummies.
So what do we do? And he's like, well, we can just say he fell and And like, he's not going to remember what happened.
Rain's like, he'll remember me with the pitchfork.
He'll remember, well, you said he was raping her. Well, I don't know. And, okay. And then guess who shows up? Kimmie.
I will say Rain's hair looks very good there.
It does. Kimmie shows up, and of course she's like, what's going on? And so Rain says, I'll tell you when we get inside, because Officer Alex is going to take care of it. This is what has me looking forward to part 2. But it's the ending that I was not expecting. So we see, because Attorney Varney can tell that Charles is upset with him and still doesn't know why Charles was calling him.
Charles is like, I'm alone in this family.
So Attorney Varney goes to Charles' home and walks in, and we hear a chainsaw. And what do we find? Attorney Varney walks to the bedroom, and we see that Charles is dismembering the 3 men he killed.
Wow.
Like, literally, we see bodies cut up and blood splattering everywhere. And of course, Attorney Varney, who I think gave his like most acting in this scene.
Yes.
He loses it. And they both start screaming, and both of them run into the kitchen and start vomiting.
In the sink, yeah.
I mean, could you have imagined that?
No.
That Charles would dismember these bodies?
Hey, desperate times call for desperate measures, and he's not very bright. So
of course, they're both in shock. Charles is saying, like, well, you wouldn't help me, and I didn't know what to do, and I'm not going to get my shares if I call the police. It's like, yeah, so let's dismember some bodies. And our Attorney Varney's like, these people were trying to rob you. You would have been justified in shooting them. Like, now we can't do anything.
Well, he's like, no, not with all the drugs. I still would have lost my shares.
And then guess who shows up? The police.
Purportedly.
Well, they're saying, well, yeah, we don't know. Knowing Tyler Perry, these might not actually be police.
They say they're the police and their faces are covered.
Well, look at ICE.
Well,
they're running around covering their faces, but
not in California anymore.
But
no.
The police come in and take down Charles and Attorney Varney, and then we cut to the credits with this music that's like 90s heavy metal. Very strange.
Kind of reminded me almost like it was. My first thought was the 1997 version of Michael Haneke's Funny Games, with the heavy metal music. Anyway.
So it's come to an end. I hope that people enjoyed us talking about part 1 of season 2.
Tyler, I believe he doesn't use AI, because I think AI, ChatGPT, would sure as hell be able to cut down on all the repetitiveness, and we'd have instead of 16 episodes per season, we'd probably have 3.
Yeah. I think that, the 24 episodes we watched probably could have been, I think at least 10 would have sufficed.
Oh, yeah.
Like half, less than half was needed to get across this message.
Yeah.
Because there is a lot of dead space.
Yeah.
A lot of repetition.
Oh, so much. And repeated themes. And
then the dialogue is so basic. A lot of the dialogue is like, yeah, that bitch. Okay. Like,
which can be funny.
It is, but, and while a lot of the performances aren't spectacular, I do think that they are amusing. Maybe because they are bad.
Some of this shit's like batshit off the wall crazy, where it's just like it's exploitative, but it is entertaining.
But like you said, I am looking forward to see where we go in part 2. I will also reiterate that I can't imagine just coming home after work and plopping this shit on with no one to talk to about it.
Well, exactly.
So in that sense, this does feel like absolute trash.
Because there's so many times like, what?
Is there anything else you want to say before we end this saga?
I know, but I will say I was not looking forward to this season, but I am looking forward to the end of it, and not just to be done with it.
Well, part 2 should be coming soon, so I'm sure we will have something for y'all then. Ta-ta.